We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, greetings and salutations. My name is Ryan of Neuroculture. Welcome to the very first episode, or first time that we are doing this. We are doing a live watch-along of a very special film, which we will get to in just a moment. But I want to go around the table, introduce everybody who is joining us tonight, because we have got a venerable who's who of incredible people on this panel tonight.
Real quick, Ryan, real quick. Sorry,
yes.
I don't mean to interrupt. Does anybody have a TV going on in the background? Because I'm getting some background noise that's very loud.
That would be our friend to the Great White North, known as Willow, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay,
anyway,
there we go. All
yes,
right.
Don't worry. We'll manage it as we go along. But anyway, my name is Ryan, and to my, I believe it's my left, my right, somewhere, no, over here, we have our young friend Thomas Carter Rochester. Thomas, how are you doing tonight, good sir?
I'm doing well. You pulled me right out of an Avatar binge, so I am mutated all across the realms.
Well,
that's a good binge to have.
That, but we appreciate you taking the time out of your busy schedule to join us this evening. We appreciate you, and we appreciate that. And next to him is our first time joining us on a stream, first time guest. She is our wonderful friend from the Great White North, known as Canada. And that would be Willow. Willow, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing amazing. How about you, Ryan?
Doing well. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. And also for Nerd Culture, we have two gentlemen that you may or may not have seen on previous videos, maybe some previous streams in another realm, maybe another dimension, another past. Weird. I don't know. I'm talking with different words. But we have Greg. I believe it's our gaming channel. Greg, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Hi, I'm doing wonderfully. Yeah, I'm just doing wonderfully. Like, it's just a wonderful time. It's a nice Sunday. Like, why not watch X-Men? Like,
I know, why not, right? And
why not?
Next to him, another member of our Neuroculture team. He is a superstar within his own right. He is the one and only Travis. Travis, how are you doing tonight, sir?
Doing fantastic, Ryan. So, I'm sorry I was a little late. Full disclosure for everybody, that what is going to be watching this. I had to make sure I found the right shirt to match Thomas here. So we're gonna
match. Like, see, it's not a button up.
It's good enough for they're almost identical, and then we have Greg just like. I got the memo of the floral, but I didn't know it was going to be a button. I didn't know we were going to keep the top two buttons loose. We chose every single thing we could have done.
Like, I could stretch the neck, but that's about all I can do.
This is the deepest of V's we can have. So.
Don't do that.
But besides the wonderful dress code, yes, I'm doing fantastic. And also, I'm excited for Watch Party. First Watch Party for me, by the way, so cool.
Yeah, this is exciting. Not only are you wearing, the two of you are wearing some styling and profiling and looking outfits that the Nature Boy Ric Flair would be very impressed with. But here's where we are tonight, folks. We are doing a celebration. Now, the official anniversary is on July the 14th, but we went a few days early because we wanted as many of you as we could to join us, have some fun with us, drop your comments in the chat. We are celebrating one of the most influential comic book movies ever made. Yes, it turns 20 years young. It is the one, the only X-Men. That is right, folks. X-Men.
I wish I had Wolverine claws.
20 years old, and believe me when I say, it is I think it's a really good film in its own right. I think it set the tone for a lot of comic movies that were to come after it.
Yeah.
Some of us are even watching it on the 20th anniversary, literally the original version of it on DVD, brought to you by our good friend of the Great White North, known as Willow. We appreciate you. So that is awesome sauce right there. But as we go through
have to represent
tonight, yes, and we appreciate that 1,000%. I'm telling you, even though 1,000% isn't really a real number. But anyway, here's what we would like for you to do. If you are a fan of this film in any way, shape, or form, and you want to join us, pop it on your streaming service, put it on your Blu-ray, DVD player, physical media, however you want to go about it. We are going to start this movie at the 25-second mark on your DVD, on your streaming service, so feel free. Cue it up now. We're going to give you a moment or two to do so because I'm going to go around the table. I'm going to ask a question of our panelists. I'll kick this thing off. The question, before we start the movie tonight, is what was going through your mind going in to see this film? What is going through your mind? What is it you remember going into this? Do you remember the marketing campaign? Do you remember a certain trailer? Do you remember a certain poster, or maybe a certain behind-the-scenes picture that was released in your local paper somewhere on the interwebs or somewhere around that came
local
from the
papers.
set? Did you
Ryan, you were the only guy as a child that
read
read the paper for news on movies. You were the only person.
Well, I'm just, you know what I mean. If you
I imagine you as a,
He's
I imagine
casting
you
a
as a
wide net.
5-year-old. I imagine you as a 5-year-old sitting at your dinner table across from your parents, just going, "Dodgers are doing horrible this year." Jeez,
That's because they were doing horrible.
They were doing awful, and he knew that.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna go into sports because I don't speak sports. Okay, I speak movies quite fluently. I'll just let you in on that secret right now. So here's my thing. So I'll kick this thing off, and then we'll go around the table here. So for me, I remember growing up on a little animated series called X-Men on a little network called Fox Kids that just blew my mind in 1992. 92, ladies and gentlemen. That is my introduction to these characters, and I enjoyed the show. I remember seeing, I believe it was the teaser poster for this movie coming out in like late 99, early 2000 when they were getting the marketing ramped up. I remember seeing the trailer that simply said, "Trust a few, fear the rest." Those are some of the words I remember from the trailers and the other TV spots for this, going in to see this movie. So, believe it or not, I was really excited because of being a fan of the 90s animated series and to see this come to fruition as a live-action film. The expectations were extremely high in this, hold on a second, 12-year-old kid's mind. My expectations were pretty darn high, but I was excited to see it. So, Thomas, what do you remember about late 99, early 2000, going in to see this movie for X-Men in 2000?
First off, I didn't know there was going to be a test, so I didn't study for that answer. Before the movie even, I don't remember if it was before it came out or after it had released in theaters. I watched it at home for the first time, thanks to good old Blockbuster. So we were a poor family. I did read movie news in the paper, so thanks for making me feel weird, Travis.
Hey, it was Ryan. Ryan said that, not me. That was weird. I don't know how you got those confused,
Travis.
It sounded like it came out of my face, but he was wearing glasses, so it must have been you.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
So I actually read the entire graphic novelization of X-Men before I watched it. And that is also the first comic I ever bought. My grandpa would get me stuff, and he's always like, "Get whatever you want." And I'm like, "But if I buy this one, then I got to get the next one and the next one, and that's a big commitment." And he'd always laugh. And so when I bought this, he's like, "You actually want this?" I'm like, yeah." And so he was like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know you knew who they were." I was like, "Yeah, they were on Spider-Man. Come on."
Any friend of a Spider-Man is a friend of me. Come on.
Yeah. So I knew what was happening. There's only one scene that didn't make any sense, but I also didn't realize that it was going to be exactly what was in the movie. So when I saw the movie, I was like, "Whoa, this is great. This is better than the book."
It's much less taxing on my brain. I can just sit here and not read.
I can really spend time looking at the motion and not looking at the text in the bubbles. Like I can get the full picture this way.
Which, ironically, they didn't have as much dialogue in the book as you would think.
Really?
It's probably because there isn't that much dialogue in this movie.
Well, it's true. I mean, I think part of what sold Hugh Jackman's role as Wolverine is the fact that he played the cool guy. He was just like, just walk away.
Don't mess with me. Well, that's all well and good. That's some interesting stuff there, Thomas. We appreciate that. So, Willow, what were your thoughts going in to see a movie in 2000 known as X-Men?
Oh, let me tell you, me being a huge X-Men fan, I'm so glad that they went with their own cast and not the cast that I had in my mind to play the characters, because, man, Bruce Willis as Wolverine probably would have caused some trouble.
I couldn't even imagine that right now.
Please continue, Willow.
But you know what? I had very high expectations. Like, I was excited for it. Hearing that, Hugh Jackman was playing Wolverine, and everybody's like, "Who's Hugh Jackman?"
Exactly. Yeah.
And they literally had to get someone new to play Hugh Jackman because the person who originally was supposed to broke his arm in
Mission Impossible 2.
Mission Impossible, thank you. And so, yeah.
Broken Wolverine.
wow. And looking back now, it's like, you know what? I can't imagine anybody else playing Wolverine.
Do you remember? Because I remember reading. I think I read on this and I saw a video of it. Who was originally supposed to play as Wolverine? Do you remember the actor's name?
Yeah, that would be Doug Ray Scott, who was the enemy to Ethan Hunt in Mission Impossible 2 with Tom Cruise.
It was going to be that guy, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
He was
no.
supposed to do it, and then unfortunately, due to scheduling conflicts with MI2 and X-Men, it didn't work out.
Yeah, no, I like how it turned out.
Interesting. Yeah.
Well, I think 7 billion people might agree with you, but
I'm just, it's one of those things. We're so used to Hugh Jackman, you can't see that guy walk into a room, say "bub," and then leave and not be like, "Yeah, that's it. That's
the guy. It's the guy."
So I think encompassing Willow, you were excited.
Absolutely.
I can dig that. That is awesome. So going on to Greg, your expectations for this film going in to see X-Men in 2000?
So, I was in first grade when this movie came out.
So you were making all of us here feel old. Thank you.
And I didn't see it until I was in. When did the third one come out?
2006.
2006. Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw it after I saw that one.
Wow.
So I started at the end, and I was just like, wow, this is pretty good. Like, let me see where this started. And then I saw it at home one afternoon. I was just like, wow, it started a lot better than it ended.
Yeah.
But honestly, like, when I first saw it, I was just like,
like Bryan Singer's career.
Yeah.
Well,
exactly.
Yeah, that's a whole other avenue for another show. But yeah,
that's a whole
Greg,
different show.
You went in reverse order, kind of like what someone may or may not have done on this panel for another trilogy. So that's interesting. I find that fascinating to go backwards. But hey,
like,
someone's got to do it, and it had to be Greg.
On his birthday, he was just like, "Hey, let's go see the last X-Men movie." I was just like, "Okay," and then I saw it. I was just like, "What? This is the last one? How did this start?" And then I saw the first one, and then the second one is still one of my favorite movies of all time. But Fair. I just started at the end, and I was just like, "Wow, this is
tell
great."
You this right now, Greg. Even though it has its flaws, the only thing that makes that movie, the third one, be semi-redeemable to me is Kelsey Grammer as Beast, just going,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
He was. I think to a certain extent he was tailor-made for Hank McCoy.
Oh, fantastic.
He was.
But that's like I said. Story for another time, because that's not the movie we're discussing. But Greg, you went in reverse order. I commend you for it. Travis, expectations going in to see this movie, if you did, in 2000.
Okay, so you of all people know, Ryan, I have the worst memory ever, so I do not remember how this first came to be, this passion. But this passion is real, nonetheless. So I will say that I remember watching this movie at a very young age, because just like Greg, because we're basically the same age, I was not old enough when this movie came out. However, I was old enough, and I started getting on the bandwagon of everything comic book-y. I remember that there was X-Men involved. Luckily, I watched them in order. So when I watched this first one, as a kid, I was like, wow, Wolverine, metal claws, leather suits, badass. And I'm like, this is great. This is awesome. And then I think I started watching the animated series very shortly after the film, because I hadn't even realized that there was one. And oddly enough, I was watching Spider-Man at the time. Even though there were X-Men crossovers, I didn't realize they had their own show. I don't know how that happened. But
it was the young mind.
It was the young mind. It was
you
the
were
young
so
mind.
Confused.
I was just happy. I was just happy to be there, man. I was just happy to be there. So I remember. I don't know how I got exposed to it, but I remember. I think I got my hands on a DVD of it, and I was able to watch it, and I just loved everything about it. It was just something. It was just finally going down that rabbit hole of you had all these colorful characters, but they put them in a sense. They put them in a more realistic state with how it would be in the real world, kind of. And then you had these just fantastic actors performing roles for these fantastic characters, and it was a fun ride, and it had some humorous parts, most of which I feel like came from Wolverine, which that's what I love him for. He's the laugh factor. There's going to be a scene in there which I'll wait till we get to, but when they're towards the end, him and Cyclops, favorite scene.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I may or may not see where you're going with that, but that's wonderful. Well, thank you for sharing your memories going in to see this film with us. We appreciate that. So once again, if you are watching this and you want to watch this movie along with us, queue up your video, your DVD, your Blu-ray, your streaming service at the 25-second mark, or if you're watching on a streaming service, I've heard the 1-minute mark for certain streaming services. So keep that in mind as we go along. And also, I'm going to point out something. We're all going to point out certain things we like about certain scenes, maybe certain moments, maybe certain characters that stand out to us a little bit more so than others. Whatever those are, we will share those with you as we go through the night. And also, if you want to share a favorite memory, a favorite character, a favorite moment, put it in the comments section. Put it down there. We're going to put them up on screen. We want to celebrate this with you. This is for you. We hope you enjoy it. So without any further ado, I think we're all queued up here in the studio. I think we're ready to go. So ladies and gentlemen, please join us as we celebrate 20 years of the first X-Men film. Here we go.
Is there a countdown?
3, 2, 1, and go.
I did it. I did it.
Just a key to our evolution.
Also,
So
I got to
proud.
point out, Patrick Stewart as Professor X. I mean, come on. Like, he's got that eloquence to him. It's just like, once you hear him, you're like, my man.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm not
like,
even. This
it
is
was
funny.
just
Like when
perfect
I heard that this
casting all
movie was
around.
going to be, when I heard this movie was going to be made, I'm like, there's no one you can play Professor X except Patrick Stewart. And this is coming from somebody who didn't watch Star Trek Next Generation, but I knew of him from the show. I just didn't watch, but I knew of him. I'm like, if you're going to cast anybody as Xavier, it has to be Patrick Stewart.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They listen to me. They listen to the millions and millions of fans out there, and they put him in the movie. I'm like, great job, Hollywood. Love it.
Wow, what a
gotta also,
2000s intro right
Dude, I was
there.
about to say, like, it's like you got those graphics that are kind of trying to get there, but clearly it wasn't there yet. But you gotta love the
It
respect.
was
was
very
there
Matrix-y vibes, you know?
Yeah.
Now, are we all going to count the X's?
Oh my god, the amount of X's.
We don't have to.
I'm gonna lose count.
I can't count past 5, so.
I probably already missed 4 of them, so. And we're only
No,
like 2 minutes.
just one. Just one.
This is still
Wow.
probably my favorite X-Men scene of all time.
Oh, really?
Here's the
Yeah.
other thing. You gotta
I would
admit,
agree,
for
yeah.
a film that, like, at the time probably it's like a superhero movie you would think would be for kids. The fact that they open up with the background, the dark history, of Magneto with like the
Yeah.
Holocaust and everything. Like,
Yeah.
that's like, imagine people going to take their kids and all of a sudden they're like, oh,
What did we walk into?
Yeah,
I thought we were seeing X-Men, not Schindler's List.
exactly.
Right? Like boy in the striped
Hey, the
pajamas?
X-Men were really dark.
No, and that's
They
what I
were.
love about them. But a lot of parents probably didn't know that. So they're like, okay, I didn't want to take my 5-year-old to see this. I'm a little, I don't know what to do here.
I will say this, like, in 2000, like, I wouldn't expect like a dark opening to a comic book movie.
Yeah, but I respect
Did you
it.
not watch Batman?
Ooh.
Which one? Wait, well,
Wait,
that's true.
2000. Hang on.
11 years.
Yeah, you're right, Batman.
I mean, Michael Keaton grabbing that guy by the throat and said, I want you to tell all your friends about me. What are you?
Plus, we
Yeah.
also
If that
have to
doesn't
think.
scare a 10-year-old kid, I don't know what will.
I
It
don't
didn't
think
scare me as a child. I was just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
ooh.
that never terrified anybody. It was just
I know,
really
I'm
cool.
I'm just throwing
You
a
wanna
scene
dance
out
with
there
the
for
devil
just
in the
as a
pale
weird
moonlight?
example, but
Yeah, it's the most
Like,
classic line from that.
oh
Jack
my
Nicholson
goodness.
killed it.
so where is this set? 1944 in Poland, right? Is this where he
Yeah,
is?
I believe.
Yeah,
I think it's
1944.
I believe it's
yeah.
44.
Because that subtitle comes up on the screen in the very beginning.
It is definitely Poland.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do believe
And
90,
yeah, and Patrick
44.
Stewart as a narrator, he gets like a 10 out of 10 from me on that. Great
Oh,
narration.
definitely.
Oh,
Love the
easy.
narration. By the way, the one thing that bums me out about this movie, because I know they couldn't do it because they had to make the movie its own vision and put your own stamp on it. I do miss hearing the '92 theme song. If
Yeah,
they put a little nod to it in this movie, that would have been so
Don't we
awesome.
all? Don't we all?
Yeah. Although they did reference it in the Fox TV series,
No, I
The
don't think they
Gifted.
did.
They did use it in The Gifted, so that was nice.
Who
I need to
had that
finish
as their
that.
ringtone for the
Oh.
longest time?
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. That's how
I
they
did not.
referenced it on the TV series. Was
I
a
wish.
ringtone for one
I
of the characters.
wish.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, he gets thrown to the ground in this.
Oh yeah, no, hardcore.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at that fence.
Yeah, they
It's all
didn't pull
bent
any
out of
punches.
shape.
They did not pull any punches in this opening. It was just like, that's
And you got to think that the most successful superhero movie up to this point was, it was Batman, right?
Yeah.
And then the first Marvel movie that ever was made was Blade. So
yeah.
they were like, well,
Blade's a good movie though.
That was intense.
The first Blade was good. Yes,
the first Blade is still good to this day.
I love all of them.
Look at young Anna Paquin. My gosh, I remember her from a family movie with Jeff Daniels, Fly Away Home, and it was based on a true story.
Oh my
God!
God.
When I was first introduced.
She was in that.
I was introduced to Anna Paquin through that movie. Yeah,
I was too, and didn't know it.
Yeah, that movie was, what was it? Fly Away Home was like 94, 95, and this was 5 years later. So she was like 16, 17 when this movie came out.
Oh yeah, no, there's a lot of people that like are very famous like now, but like this is one of their very earlier roles. Like this really skyrocketed a lot of people's careers.
Mm-hmm.
And little known fact about Anna Paquin, she's from my town. She actually,
that's awesome.
Yeah, she lived in Winnipeg she was born and raised mostly, and then she moved to New Zealand with her family later on.
Ooh. And she almost just killed a guy in the movie. So
yeah, she made out with a dude, and now he's in a coma.
He's not in a coma yet.
Well,
I mean, imagine seeing that as a child. Like, it's horrifying.
It is kind of scary. I was a little scared when I first saw it. I was like, oh man,
so horrifying.
I did not understand this scene when I read the comic.
This is one of my favorite scenes coming up here. This situation with Jean Grey and Washington. This is a great scene. When she makes the speech. Oh my gosh, it's so good, and it speaks to a lot of like you can relate to this speech, and like in real life, to certain groups you can relate to this. Yeah.
This actor, Senator Kelly, was one of my I love this actor.
Bruce Davison.
I remember as a kid, everything that went on with his character specifically, always confused me because like I every time like his portions came up and clearly he was going through metaphysical changes and stuff, I was like, wait, what? What? Like I could never follow what happened to him exactly.
Oh, Greg.
Oh, did he?
He keeps. Well, I mean, it says he's still here, but his
bandwidth is too bandwidthy. Or not bandwidth.
This is a really good scene. To a certain extent, this is the thing with this scene. I work. One of my jobs is working with young autistic adults, and to me, this kind of like when I hear her speech about these things come out whether they're young or whether they're in teenage years, and it's hard for them to grasp, and they're trying to make it through life. Like I can understand how this speech could be relevant to that. So that's why I love this speech, because it's relevant to all different types of groups who have been, through hard times and been, I guess, like kind of discriminated. It's like classism. You know what I mean? Like it's just it's really relatable.
Well, that's why the X-Men was so popular. That's why Marvel was able to achieve like so much with all their characters, because they started going
down class warfare.
Well, it's also about the fact that any character you look at, they try to make them relatable in some way. They really gave them a better sense of human aspects. That way, you could root for them more. Like that's why these stories work, especially for X-Men, and also them making a movie and everything, establishing this and everything. X-Men's always kind of stood for like kind of like the idea of like how the world is now with like diversity and stuff like that, and like it really addresses the elephant in the room and like the problem that needs to be fixed, and you got to respect it for that. Yeah. Ooh, mysterious figure.
Here comes the brotherly reunion.
I love how they slowly revealed Xavier too. Yeah. Like that slow creep around his shiny bald head.
Also, don't we find it entertaining that in a very well-lit area that his face is somehow silhouetted?
Yeah.
Like, where the existence of light is just gone now.
It's the hat. The hat's adding the shadow.
The hat
Once
blocks
the hat
it all.
comes off, he's just all the light just hits him.
Their voices are so good. They're so captivating, those voices. And this is what everybody's looking for right now.
Oh, I love that Rembrandt lighting on his face.
Yeah. Ooh, good point, Terry. Good point. Terry brings up a good point. For those of you who are
hello,
joining us
Kyle.
in the chat, thank you. We appreciate it. Please feel free to invite your friends, your family, your coworkers, your dad, your what am I trying to say? Dogs, cats living together, mass hysteria. Invite everybody. Northern Alberta, Canada. Does that look like Northern Alberta, Canada to you, Willow?
I've never been there.
Is anyone hearing buzzing in their ears?
A little bit, yeah. I don't know who it is though.
Well, feel free to either maybe unplug the headset, plug it back in. I don't know.
Let me see if it's me. Hold on.
It's not me.
It's not me either.
Let me. Let me figure it out.
Oh, is that me now? I just
No,
joined.
you're with us though, Greg.
Hi.
Oh, here we go.
Back,
See,
Greg.
this is when it starts getting good for me. Like literally, I can already see it. I can already see Hugh Jackman like literally getting the crap beat out of him with his like back to the camera up against the corner, just like cracking his neck.
You know, they did.
Just ready to go.
I'm pretty certain they had to film this sequence and all of these shirtless ones at the end of the schedule because there was like, oh, you have 3 weeks until we shoot this scene. He's like, I can get in shape.
Oh
And
yeah.
Obviously, he couldn't. So they're like, don't worry, we'll push this to the end of the schedule. That gives you more time. Like you need 9 months.
I remember, yeah, he would talk about that all the time for the role and everything, and that's what like encouraged him because he said I was disappointed in myself. I couldn't get to where I think I should have been for the character. That's why he like really tried to bulk up for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
You okay, Willow? Is that you or is it me?
Watch
It might
this.
be you,
I'm
Ryan.
not sure. I left and it went away, so I'm not sure. Maybe it is me.
No, I
You
still
know what?
heard it.
Yeah, I
when
still
you were
hear it,
gone.
All right, hold on a second, guys. Let me mute myself and see if you can still hear it. Okay.
Ooh, see, I love that the hand crunch.
Oh.
Okay. No, I
Like
think
very-
it went Ryan. I think that was you.
Yeah.
Okay.
might have been right.
Thanks, guys. But I
Look
know
at
where
that,
it's
man.
coming from. It's not even me, but it's all right. I'll figure it out.
He is.
I'll tell you this though. Even though he says like he could have gotten in way better shape. He still looks good for the role. Like he's still
yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
He looks like he's in incredible shape now.
Oh no!
Oh, yeah.
Now
Oh, yeah.
he
Like,
is.
he-
but I'm just saying for
He definitely grew into the role too.
He did, yeah.
absolutely. Once he started getting veiny, he's just like yeah, like
He got very vascular.
Big, veiny, triumphant bastard.
oh yeah.
Okay, I fixed
such
the
a-
problem. We're good now.
Good job,
All
Ryan.
right.
Sorry
Magic.
about that. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. If you heard a little buzzing sound, that was a little technical difficulty on my end, but I believe we fixed it, so we're good to go now. So yes, we are at the scene. Just so if
It's
you
just the
guys are
beauty of
trying to watch this at
live.
home, we are at the scene where Logan is just finished beating the living heck out of a dude for money, and he's
He's
at a
wearing
bar,
a
and
lot
now
of
he's
clothes.
chillaxing with his victory drink alongside a mysterious young girl who seems to be on the run. So
I forgot to point this out. The guy
wearing a
who
lot.
actually talked for Beast is in this movie. The guy who talked for Beast in the cartoon is in this movie. He played the trucker.
Really?
Really?
Are you serious?
Oh, that's
he was the
awesome.
truck driver.
He's the
Wow.
truck driver.
Okay.
Man,
Huh.
Willow is just full of fun facts on this show tonight.
Can we
Useless
talk about
information, but it works.
why is Wolverine wearing so many clothes? He's got a leather jacket, then he's got some kind of layer underneath that. Then underneath that, he's got another layer. Underneath that is a wife beater.
Because it's symbolism. Because his character
cold,
has many
man.
layers. You know, he's not just he's not just what you see.
Or it's
on
just
top.
cold.
He's like an onion.
Yes, and onions have layers. Cakes have layers. Onions have layers.
Oh, look at this.
But we stink, so we're more.
Oh,
right.
here we go. See, this is my
That
favorite
was
part.
definitely from Shrek.
So this I remember this is like
Ooh.
I remember this scene so well, and I actually like there's videos that they had. They looked it up. They actually used a prosthetic arm to have it actually like shoot through the slit, and I always thought that was so cool that they used practical
You're too
effects.
far ahead, Terry.
That's so cool.
Oh wait, here we go. I remember this part too.
You think I have one of these?
Big reflex.
No, I have two. I have two of these.
You know, like
I
the
still want to play
CGI in this
Wolverine.
movie isn't too bad. Like I honestly,
It really isn't.
for like the time it is, like it's really not
Travis?
that bad.
Yeah.
I
Being
knew that
called
was from
out.
Shrek. I knew it.
Ruth.
I had a
It's
feeling
my-
I was just
I'm
like,
Ruth,
where
I'm
did I
sorry,
hear
it's
that
my
from?
favorite Pixar movie. Jeez.
Oh my god!
Oh boy. This is the wrong movie on the wrong show, but
And
we
now
it's an
we
inside
have
joke between
the
nerd
war.
culture and everybody. So if you're in the
Oh,
nerd
the war
culture
has
group
been
chat
started.
or the nerd culture video chats, you would have seen that.
Yes. No, a side note that I always kind of
War's
thought,
been-
especially since I was on the topic of like the claws and everything, I
Yeah,
always thought it was interesting how it like in this film and most of the other ones, they actually did it pretty well. And they also when they also chose to do practical ones, but when they did CGI, like in that scene specifically, it looked fine. It didn't look bad. But then you get something a lot more further down the road, like X-Men Origins, and they look just awful. Like you would think.
We don't talk about that.
That's the point. That's what happens when you rely on computer graphics versus utilizing them to enhance your practical.
Yeah, that you know what, that is true.
I just love
Because
these.
Set,
Good
and someone
Lord,
says we can fix it in
movies.
post.
I know
Kick 'em off set.
we've dove into this a little bit already, but I gotta say, I just love the introduction to these characters, how they do it, how they're all connected to each other, and how they're like, hey, you're on this journey, I'm on this journey, we're gonna meet up in point B in a minute. But Anna Paquin is a young rogue. It's like, you know what? As a young version of this character, it works. It works.
Yeah.
It threw me off, and it took me a really long time to know that she was rogue because she didn't have the southern accent.
The
streak. Or the streak. Once the streak came in, I was like, oh, I got it. Light bulb.
Rogue has always been my favorite character.
I saved your life. Like
saved your life.
She tried.
Trying to think.
No, but Rogue has always been like one of my favorite X-Men.
I mean,
amazing backstory, like really cool powers. Just
you're really
even though they're very life threatening, it makes it hard to have a relationship.
Like, get out of here.
Yeah. What is she eating there? Beef jerky? Yeah.
I don't understand why she has to take off the gloves to eat beef jerky. I mean, I'm just
because she,
you'd see you thought you had an answer
because
she needs to absorb it multiple times.
There you go. See, that would have been acceptable, Ryan.
Were you in the army?
This is great.
Her accent is trying to be southern, and it ain't working.
Well, that's the same thing with Halle Berry's accent, and then she just like abandoned it in like the second movie.
Did she? I can't remember. I'm gonna have to.
She has an accent in this movie, but in the second one, she just drops it.
In the second one, they were just like, "You're Halle Berry,"
and she's just like, "Okay, cool. Like, I'm here.
Just be yourself.
You."
Put your
I don't remember her having an accent though, so now I'm actually kind of excited to see her come up on screen. I want to see.
I will say though, Hugh Jackman playing the loner comes off really well in this.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
really, really good.
Also, love how they did his hair.
I was about to bring that up.
You mean,
I was like, how much of it is wig work? Like, what's going on here?
No, like the way that they like pulled
I honestly
his
don't
hair to
think
like have like the little horns.
You don't
I honestly, it's a lot of gel though. It's got to be a lot of gel.
Oh yeah,
it's conditioner. Yeah.
I always thought that
people have used carpenter's glue to get the hair. Yeah, that's going to extremes, but yeah.
I'd buy a wig before I use carpenter's glue.
Well, not necessarily, because then if you see X-Men 2, there's a scene in there where they had to do reshoots after he already cut his hair, and that's very noticeable. And it was just, oh god.
I was like, whoa, what happened?
I did appreciate though. I did appreciate the fact that since they weren't going to go, there you go. Since they weren't going to go the classic route, that they tried to utilize like the ears that the mask would make with using his hair. I always thought that was slick.
Yeah, I like that. It was unique, and it also how they used the mutton chops to be mask too.
Yeah. It ended up turning him into like a rugged Elvis Presley. Like,
yes,
you know,
but also
that is true.
In Days of Future's Past comic, he's unmasked, and he does have that hair.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, absolutely.
But it's
amazing in the 90s in the 90s cartoon though how many actually had that hair too. Like Beast had it.
True.
Yeah,
these guys are related.
Sabretooth had it.
Wow, I thought this was so much earlier than where we're at. Oh, shnikes! Did she break her leg?
No, she's
stuck.
The seatbelt is like choking her. Yeah. So for those of you trying to keep score at home, we're at the scene after they crash the car. Logan gets up. He's clearing up his visual effects scars.
That's just
and,
beautiful.
Rogue
Dude,
is
that
like,
was
wait a minute,
revolutionary.
I can't get out because
That
I'm
is-
stuck.
When this movie came
is
out and
beautiful,
they created the whole wound healing effect, that became such like an iconic effect to learn as like an editor. Like that was one of the early things I learned when I went to school for film editing, and it was just like it was the funnest thing I ever did.
Who's this guy that just came out of nowhere?
The actor?
I think that's Beast. I think it's Beast. I'm not sure.
No.
It's tall. It's tall. Liev Schreiber.
It's long-haired. It's long-haired Rob Zombie Michael Myers.
Yeah.
Yes,
well, in the original, in this movie, our good friend, Sabretooth, is played by Tyler Mane.
Taylor Mane.
I think it's Tyler Mane, actually.
You might be right.
I do think it's Tyler.
I mean, Travis, I don't want to point this out again, but I know a thing or two because I've seen a thing or two. So that's all I'm going to say about that.
Was this one of the first movies that had a wrestler become an actor?
One of the first. Yeah.
Any movie with The Rock.
Well, Tyler Mane's a wrestler.
Hulk Hogan in the 80s.
He came in after, though.
Hogan in the 80s. Piper in the 80s.
This truck is about to go. Oh, Cyclops using his... When you see these characters and all these powers,
my God,
you're like, dude, this is on. Like, this movie's on.
Halle Berry is the only character in these series that went through so many hair changes. Like every movie she had something new going on.
Single movie
and yet
was
we didn't get her with a mohawk, and I am upset.
I thought we did. Didn't we get her with a slight mohawk? And oh wait, no, we didn't. That was
that was New Class.
You're right. You're right. Damn shame.
No, I think it was.
Oh look, it's Darth Maul.
Yeah.
No, it was Apocalypse. Oh, by the way, this guy right here, he's been in a million movies, a million projects. Ray Park, anybody?
Yep.
This guy has played like every character. He's played
Eyes.
Toad. He's played Darth Maul in Star Wars. He's done tons of other movies and other stunts.
Snake Eyes.
Snake Eyes in the G.I. Joe franchise. Which, by the way, studios, where's my G.I. Joe 3? Seriously? I've already seen your 2 films, so give me my 3rd. I actually have the 2 movies on a 2-disc DVD set I got from our friendly neighborhood Walmart for a cheap $5. So thanks, Walmart.
So here's the thing. I'm actually kind of surprised. I forgot that Sabretooth spoke in this film.
Oh, yeah.
I actually thought he was just kind of like the mindless brute that didn't speak at all.
He has a few lines.
I completely forgot about this scene.
Yeah. He's got a good Sabretooth voice too. Where's the mutant now? With them. Like it's mutiny. What's going on?
It's mutiny.
Oh, Greg says that we may have to go on for the rest of this journey without him. He is having technical difficulties, and they don't seem to be cooperating.
What is
Technology, all right.
I'm going to text him back. Okay, thanks for letting us know.
No. You should tell him that, no, that's unacceptable, and you should keep trying, no matter how much it hurts you.
Do or do not. There is no
hey, here's the text, Travis. Greg says, and I quote, "Please apologize to the people for me." So Greg is sorry, ladies and gentlemen. He will not be able to join us for the rest of the evening.
That's a lie. He could have done better, and you can tell him I said that.
We'll just, never mind. I was going to say something foolish.
I'm
but never
trying to
mind.
remember
Whoa, he's upset.
Ooh!
He chokes her. Almost.
Never flail while there's a needle in your arm. That's just, that gets me
What are you
so
talking about? It doesn't go into the skin.
She was halfway through his arm when he started flailing around.
Look at this set,
that's a
man.
prop needle. They weren't even close.
By the way, this is a good-looking set for the mansion. I think it looks really cool. And specifically coming from somebody who's a big fan of the color blue, this works for me very much.
Whoa!
Look at these suits, man.
They okay.
It almost feels like that room just.
I'll be honest with you. I wouldn't mind cosplaying as one of these at a convention. Honestly.
I always thought the suits were not like they literally just look like a biker's onesie, but they're still pretty.
That's because that's what they are.
Yeah.
That's what they are.
How do you know which one's yours? Okay, you have a color, we're just gonna put a little trim in there. Wait, were they labeled though?
I'm pretty sure they're labeled.
Everybody knows what their boobs look like.
Look at his hoodie. Look at the hoodie he's wearing. That's clearly labeled. Oh, by the way, I would take one of those hoodies if I had an opportunity. I would just, snag one. for me. I'm a big supporter of zip-up hoodies, so I would definitely take one of those.
You should call Bryan Singer. Maybe he'll give you one.
15 years ago, I probably would have said yes. Nowadays, his reputation isn't so
what
bright.
What if he
probably would have been? I'm not going to go there.
Never. From Superman Returns, you'd take that, wouldn't you?
I'd rather take the suit from Man of Steel because that's the GOAT right there. But I'm just saying.
I would agree with you.
Yeah, if I'm going to take somebody's suit, respectively, Henry, you're my boy, but I would still take your suit. Just saying. But anyway, so Logan is sneaking around. He's trying to figure out where he is, what day it is, what century he's living in. If you're trying to queue your Blu-ray or your streaming service, we are at the 24 minutes and 50 second mark. Excuse me. So,
now I'm at the 25-minute, 25-second mark on HBO Max. Because they are different. There was a stupid
things are different on certain streaming services. Yes, please take that into account as you are trying to put this movie on your
God, is that Bobby?
I believe it is, isn't it?
Hard to
yes,
tell.
it is.
I see Bobby. Oh yeah,
that's Bobby.
Young.
And that girl in the yellow sweater, that's Jubilee, but we never see her.
See, that's a damn shame.
And there's Shadowcat. There's Shadowcat, Kitty Pryde. Who just walked through the door.
Wait, is that supposed to be Kitty Pryde?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
So they just recast her?
Shadowcat.
So they just recast
her? I like how
on?
you're. See, I didn't know any of this. You're naming off all these potential characters, but yet they just threw them in as regular looking people. So how are we supposed to know that's gesturing to them?
Like I get the Jubilee one, and then walking through the door, it's like, oh, okay. But it's the very next movie that Kitty Pryde actually shows up, right?
Yeah. No, she's last.
No, the third one.
The third one
shows up. Yeah. Oh no, she makes a cameo in the second one when she goes through the bed to escape Stryker's men in the mansion, but in the third one, she actually makes an actual appearance. I'd like you to meet Aurora Monroe, also called Storm.
I do like who they chose to play Cyclops in this movie, though.
James Marsden, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think he did a pretty good job.
He looks like Cyclops. That's the thing about this movie. Like all these actors look legit like the characters.
Well,
yeah.
Except for the most controversial thing that the one conflicting thing everybody said was that like Wolverine's actually like what 5'1" and Hugh Jackman's like 6'3".
He's 5'8".
5'8".
Wolverine is 5'8", and Jackman is taller than that.
Oh, they changed. They keep changing his height because at one point he was like only 5 foot.
Now he's like 6'1".
Oh wow,
6'2". Is it 6'2"? Maybe.
No, in the comics,
I'm pretty sure I have a comic card where it says he was like 5'2" or something. Or
yeah,
like
the character. I'm referring like. How tall is Hugh Jackman in real life, though? Is he 6'2", 6'3"?
6'3", I think.
6'3". Okay.
Tall.
We might want to do a check.
Hugh Jackman, 6'1.5".
Wow. 6'1". If there was a Twitter back then, folks, the internet would have exploded with the casting of Hugh Jackman. People were rioting about this at the beginning.
People were angry. I remember the chat room.
People were ticked off. And I'm like, dude, as long as he delivers as the character, I don't care how tall or short you are. I don't care.
Well, they could have just told him to like hunch
first,
over.
That was like the first sign of toxic fandom right there.
Well, no. Actually, the first sign of toxic fandom was in 1989 when they cast Michael Keaton to play Batman.
That's true.
You're very right.
People were furious that they got the guy from Mr. Mom to play Bruce Wayne. That's not going to work. But then you saw Beetlejuice, and you can realize he could play, calm, but then he can get cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs on you, and it works in Batman '89. But granted, that's a different company and a different movie.
Classic.
I love this narration by Rick Xavier, telling him what his school's about, why they're doing it for their reasons. I mean, it's just so good.
So the interwebs say that officially Wolverine stands at 5'3". So I just dyslexically put an 8 instead of a 3.
Oh. I knew it.
Originally, Wolverine's height, it said to be 5'5", and then it was later retconned to 5'3".
I guess
so. There's that.
I guess the numbers people couldn't make up their minds in the office.
I'm going to reiterate. I'm watching this again. I'm very surprised at how many characters they're showing that were in the later movies. I thought when they were finally revealed in like the later movies, that was their first time being shown. Like this is all foreshadowing what we're going to see later on that I didn't even notice before.
Welcome to Mutant High, as Bobby likes to tell us.
It's funny. All you younglings have been asking to join Hogwarts. Me, I wanted to be an X-Men.
Yeah, I want to go to Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, Willow. That's where I want to go.
I didn't want to go to school. So
I love going to Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. That's like the best school ever made. I just want to go there, but I haven't yet. I really want to go.
If there was a chance of there being a school like this when I was in foster care, sign me up, dude. Sign me up.
I say. Look at this. You get to see all these different machines. You get to work with motorcycles. You get to work with animals and the horses and the stables. Look at all this. Make a deal with you, Logan.
This really makes me want to watch First Class.
I mean, hey, it's Sunday night. I got nothing better to do. We can pop that on my Blu-ray player right now for this if you want. I don't care.
Ryan is always game for X-Men.
Because it's X-Men, dude. I'm up for First Class. By the way, full disclosure, I have not seen First Class in a long time, so it wouldn't hurt to do a rewatch.
You also haven't seen Into the Spider-Verse, and that was a damn shame.
It's sitting here on my desk.
That's not good enough.
Soon.
Do better.
I almost dropped a bomb on him about that movie.
Willow, it's gonna happen, okay? I know Fetch is never gonna happen, but me watching Spider-Verse, it's gonna happen. Okay?
Fetch is never gonna happen.
It's gonna happen, Willow.
And this is where they make the great shift.
Oh yeah, when they're in the helicopter, yeah.
Yeah.
Senator Kelly's trying to bark orders.
I remember this scene.
And I remember his assistant, Peter Gyrick. I remember him from the animated series. He was the one who co-created the Sentinel program.
What a dick.
I have a Sentinel.
Oh, you do have a Sentinel. Did you see the new one that they're coming out with from Marvel Legends?
No.
Did you see it? Okay,
no, I haven't seen it yet, but I'll have to look.
You're going to have to go on Google Images because it just dropped a few days ago, and my friends are telling me, oh, everyone has to buy this now. It's Marvel Legends. I'm like, dude, I don't have that kind of dough, okay? I'm spending my money on stuff from the 90s, okay? I don't want to spend so much of my money on stuff from today. But that's just me. I can't speak for everybody. You know the situation? These mutants. People like Jean Grey. Where the heck are we? Flying over the ocean.
I really thought that's where she was. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, here she comes. And before she was... Remember, guys, she was married to Uncle Jesse.
Uncle Jesse, yeah.
Yep, it's true.
Rebecca remains.
Pilot!
She's now, she's married to Jerry O'Connell now, isn't she?
Didn't they divorce? I'm not sure. If they're still married, congratulations.
I think they're still together.
Yeah. By the way, unfortunately, I think that's Mystique's only line in this entire movie.
She's too busy kicking ass with Foot Fu because she doesn't want to throw a single punch.
It's really sad. I wanted more lines from Mystique in this movie. We only get one line of her. So
I mean, you had Jennifer Lawrence at some point doing all that stuff. So
well, hey, I'm not going to argue about Days of Future Past and First Class, son. But Rebecca Romaine, I'm just saying, young lady, you deserve some more lines in the first film. That's all I'm going to say.
She deserved better, damn it.
In the first movie, yeah, she got a lot more lines in the second one. Let's see here.
I can't remember. Why are they running tests on him? Is it just so they can figure out what his deal is, or is it?
Yeah, what his mutation is. Yeah. Couldn't wait to get my shirt off again, huh? Classic Hugh Jackman line. Look at this X-ray machine. Glare in the glasses. Look at his mutation. Look at this. Man, that is... I don't know if I could go through with an operation like that.
Neither could he. He's probably older than the professor.
Well, yeah. He is, by a lot.
Haven't you seen
by a lot.
Like, a lot.
In later films, we find out, yes.
Yeah, they did a Logan origin story for the comic books.
Never seen anything like this before.
God, what a masterclass.
That's the other thing. So, like, looking at these, like, they have, like, it has, like, this weird pattern with the metal to his skeleton in this film than whenever you see it anywhere else. Like, I don't know what made them choose that design, why it looks like that. It was always interesting, though.
Terry brings up a little interesting point about continuity.
Mentioned meeting Eric when he was 17. Yeah, there's going to be so many continuity issues.
And Terry, you're right. People get angry over all casting choices. Keaton as Batman. Yes, Terry, it's true.
Yeah.
When you say continuity issue, do you mean because of X-Men First Class? Question mark, Terry.
Yeah, that's a good. Are you talking about that movie, or are you talking about what the flashback in X-Men: The Last Stand when he wasn't in a wheelchair?
These are all good questions.
It's
questions.
You never
Terry,
know what's
Terry may have
reliable anymore in these films. You just kind of take them all with a grain of salt.
That's why I don't own any X-Men movies.
Yeah.
Because there's no continuity for you, Thomas?
There is no continuity.
The only continuity you're getting is watching these first three. Every other ones, you just got to be like, this is its own movie. I'm not going to acknowledge anything else before
First
or after
Class
this.
is its own movie. Days of Future Past, Retcon 3.
Everything. Because of Days of Futures Past, that is like the end of this trilogy.
I think it's the end of the franchise, quite frankly, because it was such a great ending.
It should have been the end of the franchise, but no, they had to bring in Bryan Singer because they wanted more money. We can make a lot of money if we do Days of Future Past now. Shut up, Fox.
I'll tell you what, though. They clearly had no idea what they were doing with that film, and it shows because I watched outtakes and bloopers of that film, and it had the scene where Magneto, Professor X, and Wolverine were all standing in the room, and this is like way in the future. They're about to send him back, and then they're talking, and all of a sudden it cuts to Magneto, and he flops his line. He just says the most random stuff. He's like, well, why don't you put on those rose-tinted glasses and see what you can see? And then they all go and they just like, what? What did you say? He's like, I don't know what's going on at all. He was so confused for this film. Well, not
Matthew Vaughn wanted Days of Futures Past to be the end of his trilogy.
It should have been.
And it should have been. And so he walked when Fox foxed it up.
Foxed it up. There you go. What does the fox say?
Oh, God.
Money, 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 money. Oh, we're fired.
Oh, wait, hold on. I completely missed that comment, but I'm going to keep. Terry said, keep an eye out as the senator walks out of the water onto the beach right beside the TV. You'll know when you see it.
Yeah.
I think I remember somebody saying to look out for something, but I still forget what it is. So I will make sure to keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Look at those graphics. Wow.
Pretty good for 2000. I don't know what the hell it is.
Man, for the movie and the budget this was made on, it works.
Gotta love ramen noodles, man.
Oh, yeah.
Look at this nice room. If we were given accommodations like this at school, oh my gosh, I'd never want to leave.
I like how she turns on one light and every other light in the room basically turned on.
Well, she is telekinetic. She is telekinetic.
Listen, don't use logic.
Oh, you can move things? What kind of things? All kinds of things. That could be taken a couple of different ways, folks.
If you look at his face when he looks back.
Ryan, not everything is dirty double entendres, okay? Jeez.
I know, but
hold on. Her very next line is, I can also read minds, and she's smirking. So I think she was reading his mind.
So read my mind.
Probably. But then she's like, I'd rather not. I'm like, what were you just... I'm getting mixed signals here. I don't...
Welcome to this relationship.
Yeah.
Look at her reading.
That was the other
mind.
thing. I know that they wanted to have it be like a love triangle thing, but they made her character so indecisively back and forth that you couldn't ever side with her because I felt like it's like you're playing with people, you're toying with people.
They did that in the cartoon too, and
it happens.
The comic books.
It happens in the cartoon, fellas.
Oh yeah, okay. So since we're talking about X-Men, do you guys know what's happening in the comics right now?
No,
what is going on in the comics?
They put the freaking two together.
Oh no, it's a thruple. It's a full-on thruple.
What does that mean exactly?
It means Jean Grey and Cyclops and Wolverine are all in an open relationship together or something like that.
Oh, wow.
So thrupling it up.
they're having their own version of a love
That
triangle.
is X-Men First Class indeed.
I think it's triple X First Class, but I see what you're going there. I'm sorry.
Triple
I just had to
X-Men
go off the
last
reservation.
stand.
But
I will tell you this though, Cyclops' casting, I think he did a really good job of playing like the slight dick and everything. Because Cyclops, if you have read the comics, he is kind of an ass.
Oh, he's a total ass. And he tries to be a good blue Boy Scout, but he's just a dick.
Just a dick.
I like the little banter between the three of them. Like, you gonna tell me to stay away from your girl? Well, if I had to do that, she wouldn't be mine, would she? It's like I just like the witty banter. So
but then he counteracts it by saying, "Stay away from my girl." I'm like, haha, so I am winning. I'm winning.
So,
okay.
So yeah, Logan is having some nightmares, and our good friend Rogue is trying to figure out what exactly is going on in his head. But it's probably not a good idea to try to wake him up in the middle of the night. Just saying.
Fire. Water.
Where did she even get that clothing? What is that? A bathrobe she's wearing? I don't even know what it is.
I'm not sure, but it has an open back and it has a hood, so
is it a onesie?
I enjoy.
Oh boy.
Nikes.
Oh, there he goes. Kebab.
That's rough.
You totally forgot about that right there.
That is shish kebab.
We'll keep a tally of every time Wolverine stabs somebody. We'll be here.
Does someone have a piece of paper and a pen to write that down, please?
I do.
Can someone get a piece of paper and a pen? Okay. Somebody help me. We're in trouble.
And this is the other thing.
Just touch her.
Regardless of
not like that. Just touch your face. My bad.
Regardless of whether or not Hugh Jackman can play the animal so well, but see how quick he can change to the like scared and innocent, like, oh my god, what did I just do? Like, he's able to flip both sides so well as an actor.
Yep.
Greg is in the chat. Thanks for chiming in, man.
He's just a confident young man.
And
I still haven't fully heard this accent from Halle Berry.
Look at all the students who woke up for this. This is crazy. All of them woke up.
Wait, hold on.
It was an accident.
No, she's not going to talk, of course.
She doesn't want to talk about it.
Yeah,
Bobby
she doesn't
Drake
get a lot of. I don't remember her talking much in this movie. That's why I was surprised when she had long hair, because I pretty much only remember her with short hair.
Maybe that's why she was able to get away with the whole accent change, because she barely talked enough in the first. It's like, I don't think anybody really remembers you speaking, so we're just going to use that to our advantage.
Look at
Fox logic.
Look at the shadowing on Xavier's face in this. Man, they really knew how to work the colors and the shadows in this scene.
Or they knew how to cover up their set when it didn't look top par. Like, this is a very nice way to make a very intense scene, keep it focused on the subject, but also you don't have to put a bunch of set design into it, because it's like, let's just block everything out.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember
that's brilliant filmmaking on a budget.
Where they were actually having that scene, because I don't think that's his room.
I don't think it is either.
I think it's the infirmary.
A lot, yeah.
That would
or
make
is it
sense.
Xavier's room? Maybe.
Oh wow.
Or maybe the infirmary.
It might be the infirmary or the. He's trying to stick his head out.
I remember as a kid, after I watched this, I actually remember like putting my head like between the pillars of the fence, going, "Can I do it too?" Like just like.
That is
just
so
trying.
Yeah,
this scene right here kind of reminds me of that show that was so great in the 90s and never got the attention it so rightfully deserved, known as Animorphs. Some of these effects, like he's trying to stick his head through a window, you know what I mean? Like it kind of reminds me of Animorphs just a little bit.
Yeah.
Love that sequence of him walking and making the bridge.
Oh yeah.
I want that power.
You want that power?
Just to make bridges everywhere I walk.
Make bridges,
my
people.
Question. So this is again, I think to this day it still confuses me. When he used the machine on him, he knew that it would alter his DNA, right, to turn him into something else?
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. So why is he somewhat a little bit surprised when like he goes into the cell and he realizes he's like escaping, that he's got abilities now? Like that's always like a little weird to me. Like did he know,
wasn't expecting what
what it would
I don't
be.
think he knew what abilities he was going to get.
I see.
You don't know he's about to turn into Mr. Fantastic.
I thought he turned into like a Hydro type of guy, because wasn't he like kind of water based at a certain point?
Yeah.
I legit don't even remember. I mostly remember him being, spoiler alert, another character.
Also, I should have said this earlier. Literally, Sabretooth kind of looks like the early days of Metallica.
Yes.
I think that was planned.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lion roar, beautiful. God, those eyebrows are so long.
So the kid's out in the ocean with a little raft. He's like, "What's going on? I don't know who this guy is."
Was that
That's
Deadpool?
a jellyfish. Well, the kid's playing with a jellyfish, but the character in the water.
All I know is that he was bald and his skin looked weird. So
here he comes
exactly.
now.
Okay,
Here's the
here we
scene.
go.
Oh man,
It's like a monster movie.
It's like a Mothra. They make scary movies that start out like that. You know, there's a movie called Spring Break Shark Attack that
Oh my
starts out
god,
like this.
the lotion thing.
Yeah. Does anyone remember those weird spin-off movies on Sci-Fi? Spring
Wait, I
Break
missed
Shark
it. Where's
Attack?
the TV thing? Hold on.
TV
What am I
right
looking
here. Stanley!
at? Where?
Where? In this slow zoom going toward the TV when it's talking, it's like UN Summit.
Yeah.
Stanley is frame top right.
Top right. Dang it! I was looking left, dude. Crap.
I caught it at the last second. I was like, I'm looking at the TV, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, I got to do better.
It shows how early on this was in the process. They're like, we're going to put a Stanley cameo in here, but we're not going to put him at the forefront.
We're not. Yeah, we're not going to let him talk. Oh,
Yeah.
mistake.
It's like, what a big mistake that was.
What would Stan say? They could have done better.
If Stan Lee actually got a full cameo in that moment, what do you think he would have said? What do you think kind of line they would have given that man? Like, that's a good question to ask.
Someone hand him some clothes.
That probably would have been good.
Honestly, I think that would
But
be.
yeah, he's sitting there
Someone
hanging out.
get him some
He's
clothes.
sitting there hanging out, and he goes, oh, geez, now I've seen it all.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Ah, jeez. Now I've seen it all. That was more Rocket. I apologize, fans. Stanley's a hard voice to crack.
Yeah.
Oh,
It wasn't him. Also, I'm pretty sure at a certain point when this movie came out, people were like, where can I get those sunglasses?
Yeah.
How can I get
I was one of those people.
Yes.
Don't judge me.
Magically, you can buy them now.
I think that's when reflective lenses became like extra popular.
Welcome, Professor.
Hola, Professor.
That happens to be possible. Adjustments strong enough to break them up and cause ripples over your limit.
Someone's watching another TV in the
Welcome to
background.
Cerebrate.
That would be me. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We still love you. It's all good. Just wondering where the noise was coming from. But anyway, it certainly is a big round room.
I'm not sure what my husband is
Radio.
watching.
It sounds like
You can tell him to
British
tone it
television.
down.
I'll tell you what he's not watching.
He's not watching
Patrick
X-Men.
Stewart.
He goes in there. He's like, "What are you watching?" It's like, "Oh my god, you're watching X-Men? Get the hell out of here! Come on!"
I got to be honest. Cyclops glasses are cool, but I was always one of those guys who wanted a pair of Ray-Bans because of Top Gun.
Well, you know what?
Well, I wear Ray-Bans all the time, so that's just because they fit my big ass head.
I'm just saying.
See, I was more
Cyclops-
partial to the circular hippie glasses that Laura Croft wore.
The hippie glasses.
I see where you're going with that. Yeah. Have you ever used Cerebro? No. Famke Janssen. So beautiful in this. I mean, she's been beautiful in everything. Pretty much everything she's in, but she looks pretty darn good in this movie.
I love her as Xenia Onatopp.
Yes. That's how we were introduced to her as an audience, ladies and gentlemen. She was in the James Bond film known as GoldenEye, which was released in 1995, 5 years before she would become known as Jean Grey.
The Dark Phoenix. All right, let's try and pick out our Easter eggs in this because there's a few.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's
are they?
see. Let's see.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
there
trying to
Easter
remember
eggs?
who it is and what it is.
I mean, here's the... Okay, so they found Rogue. Are there Easter eggs?
I believe so.
I know that
No.
they definitely used they used that for Easter eggs. I don't know if they used it every single time or they're going to be future scenes that they
Yeah.
do it.
I don't think. Did they use Cerebro in the second and third?
They used them in almost every movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that was
Then
always
it might
a con-
be it might be the second and third that they do some of those. And then I know in First Class when they first use it, you see Cyclops and you see a couple.
Oh,
other
yeah. Other
Yeah.
Easter eggs, yeah. Where's my motorcycle? Gee, I wonder where it could be.
Oh, and that was
at
I thought that was
those cars.
I thought that was badass too when he steals a motorcycle because like he just pops out. Oh wait, no, that's the second one where they go to escape. He pops out the middle claw and he's like hot wire.
Oh, yeah, he hotwires
Don't press the button.
car. It's
He
like,
pressed it.
don't press the button. Don't push. Isn't he going like 120 miles an hour like that or 150?
Yeah, Yeah.
I don't know.
How are you going around a turn like that?
They never show us the speed limit. The
sheer
speedometer, so I don't know.
technology, folks. Sheer technology.
The one thing that they show is once he turns up, you see the camera POV like bobbing and weaving, but when it cuts to him, he's just completely straight, not turning that wheel at all or leaning.
He's
like, I got this.
This speech right here, this heart-to-heart that these two characters have, this kind of this hits me a little bit. This is really good. I like.
Let's be real. The real victim in this entire movie is Rogue.
I mean, they did really, if you think about it, she is like, I think they use like Logan kind of as a vessel to get through the story, but really it is her that I think it revolves around, because I feel like most of the conflict and the turmoil comes from a standpoint of her and how she's, she doesn't know what she's supposed to do, what her purpose is in life. She feels like an outcast. She wants to be accepted, and then she's used like very literally in this film. So like I feel like it's strongly on her to tell the story.
Yeah, she's our main point of view character for this entire
main protagonist.
time.
Yeah. And this is not Bobby Drake. This is somebody else. Clever girl. Good visual effects with Mystique in this. Even though the early visual effects are still good. Man,
there's second there where you could just freeze it, and then you have basically Bobby with Mystique body. It's like, that's an interesting image.
Wasn't the makeup process for Rebecca Romijn in this movie? I think I heard someone say it took them 7 to 8 hours to put the makeup on.
Very much so. They had, because not only is it full body paint, but like all the spikes, like she had prosthetics that had to be laid on in pieces for every single part. So it was gruesome.
Yeah, and Jennifer Lawrence had the same issue, and then after that, she's like, bodysuit me.
For parts 2.
She's like, I don't want to deal with that at all.
Yeah,
and she did that in Days of Future Past and Apocalypse.
And also you notice how like in the later movies, the last ones that she did, she mostly like either was in full bodysuit or she was like trying to look normal, just so she could just be like, I want to be out of makeup as much as possible.
Heard the professor was mad at me.
Touching.
Yeah, not knowing where you belong, you're not sure if these people can help you or not. I've had those
Guys,
kind of doubts.
I've
had those kind of doubts.
This was me growing up in foster care the whole fucking time.
Wolverine is the perfect father. Fight me on that.
He's very good at consoling people. Let's just put it that way. I like this. Very good exchange between these two characters. Boy, it is raining really hard in my neck of the woods.
I told you, sir. I told you it was coming.
It's raining cats and dogs here, but hey, we got a great movie going, so that's what's going to make me happy. So,
let's also acknowledge when I was bringing up accent earlier. Let's all acknowledge the fact that another thing Hugh Jackman's able to do is he's Australian, but he's doing a wonderful American accent. Like,
good point, Greg.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg.
Yeah, the VFX still do hold up. Like they clearly have, they age well, but they still have age to them. Like you notice, kind of in comparison to what we've seen now, but they're not horrible in any means.
Whoa. Someone really needs a train ticket. No, they don't. They just want to. They want to destroy somebody.
How dare they choke story?
There.
Yeah, it was weird.
It didn't really sound like how I thought it was. It kind of sounded like she was trying to do English. Like she has long brown hair. Like I didn't.
Yeah, no, there was an attempt for an accent, but I cannot place it to save anything.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, angry eyes.
Boy, that roof is going to need some serious repairs.
He was very slow reaction.
And a fun fact: Halle Berry didn't want to wear any contact lenses for this role, so she's like, "Can you just visual effects my stormy eyes?" And they're like, "Yeah, sure."
I mean, it's great. Out of all the effects that they had to do, that probably was the easiest. So they're like, "Yeah, sure, whatever."
We'll just put in visual effects eyes for you when you get angry.
Then, okay, here's something that's interesting. That was really great effects on her eyes, and yet in every superhero since, we have not done that for their eyeballs. Why?
I don't know. Maybe it's because there's also people that are thinking like that's so easy to like just pop in context, I guess, more than spending the time to do effects frame by frame. But
well, I mean, like, why don't we make their eyes white? Like, Batman eyes white in the comics.
I know,
like things like that. When it comes to the mask,
that would have been cool. But because it's the thing that, especially with if you're thinking of it from like a Batman standpoint, it's the fact that they don't have any way of, even though it's a Batman movie, they have no way of being plausible about, his eyes are white when he puts on the mask, You know
how easy that is to just write in somewhere?
I don't know, man.
Like, they do it in Batwoman, and it's like a specific thing that it's a specific mode in the cowl. And they did it a little bit. Is it Dark Knight? They kind of tried, they did it a little bit.
French African accent. Like, okay, I guess. Sorry.
That's why it was hard to recognize.
It's rare.
When the train opens and Hugh Jackman backs his head back, that's Hugh Jackman's natural reaction. That was filmed on set, and they were like, "We like this so much, we're gonna keep that in the final cut."
But this throwback right here, when he pushes him, I always thought this looked a little odd when he shoots him like through the train.
Yeah, the visual effects of it. Look at this.
Because like his arms are out, and it just goes.
Oh, he gets pounded.
There's
that loud TV again.
Sorry guys, one of the police officers, the lead police officer in this scene, he's actually from Winnipeg too.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah.
Young people.
Have you
Everybody
met him
knows
before?
everybody.
I haven't met him yet. That's the thing. Like, I keep getting told this information, but never meet these guys.
You gotta arrange a meeting on your docket. Gotta get on that at some point.
The guy talking, is he the one from Winnipeg?
I'm sorry?
The guy with the bullhorn, is he the Winnipeg?
No, sorry.
It's okay.
Boom!
Those cars got destroyed.
Smashy.
Classic practicals.
Of all the things in this movie that remind me of, Magneto's outfit isn't really all. I know they had to change stuff for the movie because the movies and the TV series are two different things, but the helmet does remind me of the TV series a little bit.
One of my favorite. I see. He doesn't say it in this film, but I think he says it in like Last Stand. But Ian McKellen's line where he's like, "You humans and your guns." I'm like, ha, yeah. It's so classy.
Controlling Sabretooth. Can't you read my mind?
Yeah.
It's crazy. This guy stars in X-Men, and then 2 minutes later, he's in Lord of the Rings the following year.
Yeah, he was killing it, dude.
Dude, his resume like piled up in the 2000s.
Yeah.
They're like, let's give this guy every role in almost every other movie. Let's do it. Give him all the checks.
Then kill me and find out.
Oh, Toad's gonna give Rope back, I think, or is he? Fine. You want to play it that way? A lot of tension in this scene.
Shh. Okay, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
About that entirely.
Oh yeah, and then I remember, like as you talk, it's like pushing
it's
into
still
his
like.
head. Here's my thought: why couldn't he do this? Why couldn't he just knock his head back a little bit?
You know what makes you weak, Magneto?
Whenever Earth reopens and you get a chance to meet Ray Park at a convention, he's one of the coolest dudes you ever meet in person. It's true.
She can just do it all. She fights with her feet and she can fly helicopters. It's like, but she can also change into anybody she wants. Oh yeah, that too.
That too. She's good with her hands and her feet.
I really would love it if like one of the cops, like buddies, walked in and said, "Dude, why didn't you move?"
I mean, it's pointed in one direction. You could have moved left or right.
Oh.
The belt buckle. It really makes the Logan attire.
Look at that denim jacket.
What a Canadian.
Dude, the traditional way. Look.
Canadian tuxedo.
I'm going to look for.
At least he's not in the Canadian tuxedo, all denim.
There.
You're right. He's got 3 layers plus denim.
He's got a t-shirt and 3 t-shirt, a denim jacket, and a regular jacket. He's got it all.
T-shirt, a almost flannel button up.
Shirt.
They tried. They really tried to go full Canuck on this guy.
Canuck.
We have to keep ourselves toasty warm all year, okay?
Isn't it like -50 every day in Canada somewhere?
Only in Winnipeg.
Only in Winnipeg. All right. Who's this guy walking in the door? I'm looking for Dr. J.
It's the melting man.
I've had too much to drink. I need help now.
Doesn't he genuinely become like a water pile?
Yeah, he just like blows up.
Spoiler alert, if no one has seen this movie before.
If you haven't, then
what are you doing with your life?
I mean, who cares?
Spoilers. My
Spoiler alert, in X-Men Origins, we get Leah Schreiber as Sabretooth, which I preferred a lot more than this one, so.
You know, honestly, I made that mention about it might be my favorite X-Men scene, but I totally forget that the opening of X-Men Wolverine is the best that movie. Like,
absolutely.
It's so good that it's like, yeah, and then the rest of the movie happens and you go, oh, honey.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have just made the
Will.i.am is in
movie.
this movie.
You should have just made the movie like the opening sequence. Like, make that the whole movie. Give him a whole.
Yeah.
I'm about to give away a free script idea, so I'm going to cut my mouth off because it's sitting there.
We don't want Fox/Disney taking all our ideas.
Because that would have been such a story, that history right there. Oh
yeah, right. Could you just imagine a movie on Wolverine centered around his PTSD, and it's a time travel trip through his own mind.
A Saving Private Ryan movie, but with Hugh Jackman in there as Wolverine, just like, follow me, guys.
I sense a fan film.
A fan film? Ooh.
Maybe we should put together a fan film. I don't know.
Ryan, what do you want to be? Do you want to be Wolverine? Is that why you're?
Well, I may have just shaved to look ridiculously 10 years younger today, but you know what? I can grow back my mutton chops, no problem.
I'll shave my chin.
I'll just go zip right there.
I can grow this thing back and become Wolverine all over again. It's no big deal. Welcome to the future, brother.
Ooh, brother. Oh, yeah, dig it.
Oh, yeah, brother. The cream that rises to the top. Yeah.
The cream rises to the top.
Mm-hmm. I'm a chameleon, yeah.
You're this is not from this movie, but he's like, you're not from around here, are you? And he just looks at him and goes, what gave me away? And he smiles with those fangs and shit. Oh, crazy.
You have insurance on this place? Insurance? No. Too bad.
Victor!
Victor! Says that in Origins. You're saying this machine draws its power from Magneto. So let's see, where are we hold on. We are 1 hour and about 2 minutes into the film, in case you are wondering where we are in the story.
Oh, that's right.
Sandra Kelly is in the infirmary.
That's so weird.
Trying to get medical attention from Storm.
That's a good thing. That's a good person to have medical attention from. She can control water in a way.
Well, Aurora Monroe, also called Storm. It's very true. So basically, they were trying to put the Easter egg that this guy's going to become Hydro Man, like in Spider-Man, the animated series of '94.
He's really going to make a splash. Thank you.
Oh, jeez. So ironic. She stars in a the first 2 X-Men films, and then a year later, she does the Razzie Award-winning Catwoman.
You know, Greg is right. I think it is a French African accent.
Is it?
It's got, I mean, because I'm starting to hear it a little bit more, and it's got this eloquence to it she's really trying to push.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, this is the scene that really.
What were you trying to say, Willow?
It's funny, when she was getting her Razzie, she actually started crying. she did a really great speech about winning that.
Nope, she runs out of the room.
It's not easy to get a Razzie.
Didn't she also get like nominated for Best Actress in a different film that same year?
I bet money.
I think it was, and it was for Monsters Ball with Billy Bob Thornton. You were the one who stabbed Rogue through the chest.
Huh.
Senator Kelly is dead.
Senator Kelly is dead.
The Supreme Leader is dead.
Settled this. I'm going to find Rogue.
Oh yeah. What was
I just now realized his helmet. It looks like a weirder version of like Ant-Man's helmet. That's not what I'm thinking about now.
A little bit of Hank Pymness.
I see you. Yeah, that's not. You're not wrong. It also kind of looks like Kamen Rider a little bit.
Really?
Huh.
Interesting.
Like if you were to situate the
helmet
eyes on the helmet, it would.
Hollywood's not. Hollywood's known for reusing props.
True.
I mean, hey, granted, this is a different series and a
Fox
different genre,
doesn't reuse props.
Well, hey, man, they reused the suits from Starship Troopers and the Lost Galaxy.
Thank you. I was actually just going to mention that.
Yeah. And they reused the suits from In Space in SPD for the A Squad. So there you go. Fox likes to reuse props.
That was the joke. Also, technically, SPD and A Squad, that was Disney.
Oh, well.
Boom, gotcha.
Right, yeah. Okay. Sorry, Thomas.
Lloyd.
Thomas, I'm sorry. I was incorrect.
You've been judge fudged.
All right, thank you. But they did reuse them in '99 for Lost Galaxy.
Yeah, no, they reuse. That's the joke. They reuse everything. They're such cheap.
Most specifically, the first 2 episodes is pretty noticeable in Lost
There's
Galaxy.
always that one guy when they were pitching a new show, and he's like, "Guys, how about we like use something new?" And then somebody goes, "Why?"
We got Starship Troopers.
He's the guy that gets thrown out.
Yeah.
They also use the Starship Troopers helmet for the army guys in Firefly.
Oh wow!
Oh boy!
See, that's the thing. I've seen what was it, Serenity, but I have not seen Starship Troopers yet.
What?
I know. I got to get on that. There's a lot I've missed. Okay, I've been living under a rock. I mean, if full disclosure, just last night I saw Glengarry Glen Ross and Hoosiers for the first time.
Oh. Okay.
We're going to have to spend the next year helping Ryan watch all these movies that we referenced to.
I've told him enough times, and he just refuses to do it.
I'm trying to talk David into doing a Spider-Verse watch-along. So
that would be that's good.
There was an idea that literally popped into my head last night, and I was like, oh my. I could get in on some whatever movie I just said. I blacked out in the middle of the sentence. Thank you. I crossed the wrong web off in my head.
It's all right. I still got to sit down and watch my Spider-Verse.
I don't know. I'm telling you, Ryan, you're gonna love it. I don't know why you took so long. You're gonna love that film.
Hey, look at the bright side. At least I have it now, and I got it on a successful target.
And also the Easter eggs you can see in that. At one point, somebody throws a bagel, and they get hit in the head, and then it says bagel. It is hilarious.
I am looking forward to seeing Nick Cage as Spider-Man Noir. I will say that.
Wherever I go, the wind follows.
Okay, it's going to happen. I'm going to watch.
We're in a garage.
Where's the wind from?
I don't know. So, for those of you who are wondering where on earth these guys are in the story, Rogue is on a boat
somewhere
with
in
Magneto
America.
And company, and they're on their way to the Statue of Liberty to put up the machine that Magneto wants to use to evolve humanity, or destroy them in this case.
This is where it really got confusing in the graphic novelization.
I first saw it in 1949. America was going to be the land of tolerance and peace.
Are you going to kill me? She does kind of have a southern accent. It just isn't as...
It's very subtle.
Considering that I'm from the South, it's not a southern accent.
Yeah, I think what they chose.
I'm used to my dad. My dad talks like this. So
they gave them all every character that they gave them. They probably just thought, all right, visually we're toning it back, accent wise we're toning it back. A little bit, that's fine.
When is it happening for David in the Spider-Verse, I think.
You're probably right. I just think he has to figure out when he has 2 hours free to watch the movie in a watch along.
When I saw it was 2 hours,
listen,
I'm like, oh man.
Once he has time to hear John Mulaney as Peter Porker's going, it can get weirder. My hands are wet because I just went to the bathroom.
He and I actually saw.
See, I'm not the only one who's dropping the bombs of knowledge here, guys, with that movie.
I saw the first showing of Spider-Verse, and he came in the showing after, and I walk out, and he's like, "How is it?" And I'm like, "You're gonna cry," and he's like, "What?" And then he got out, and he's like, "You're right, I loved it, but I didn't cry." And I was like, "You son of a bitch.
You monster!
How could you not cry?" I cried in the opening.
maybe I'll cry during the movie. Who knows?
We can only hope.
There's some stuff. There's some good stuff in that movie. Also, they have a really awesome Donald Glover Easter egg that it takes. You gotta good luck finding it.
All right, I will keep an eye out for all these references that you're making about the movie.
It's on a TV. I'll give you that much.
I got it.
Because it's hard to find.
Great. Now I have to watch it again.
This is a little throw at the '92 animated series, is what Logan says.
Oh, here. He's like,
there you go.
Ooh, yeah.
There's your '92 reference, guys. What would you prefer? Yellow spandex from that TV series? Really big deal?
He just goes, yes, I would. Do you have that? Very much.
Do we have that yellow spandex outfit from the show?
We're going to have to consult Chris Claremont on that.
Yeah, Chris, where's the suit, man?
Yeah, he says it's fine.
And all the kids are like, why is there a giant ship coming out of the basketball court? What's this all about?
I always wondered, like, it's just bad placement. Like, what if somebody was out there late night and they just decided to take off? Like, that's not going to end well.
Well, obviously,
I'm sure there's a warning signal before they take off.
You would hope. You would hope.
Wow, they got to Liberty Island real fast.
Yeah, because that thing is. Look at it rip up that water. It's
once again sheer technology, folks.
Sheer
technology.
Shakaka technology.
I mean, it must be up to date. Look at those headpieces. They are just screaming early 2000s.
What is this Atari saying? I'd take you about 30. Oh, it's going to take me 30 times to see the movie before I get everything that's in there, Terry? Okay.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's so much.
Oh, that's like Ready Player One, then.
Dude, that was a fun watch along in the theater.
I need to watch it again in the theater. Like, I missed so much.
I heard
I wouldn't mind seeing it in
I think in
theater
the early part of the movie or the big battle sequence in the third act, wasn't there a Tron reference with somebody holding an identity disc or something? There might have been a reference to Tron.
I think there is a Tron reference somewhere.
I think there's like 3 of them or more in that movie.
I gotta rewatch Ready Player One, Willow. We got to do a watch along for that.
Absolutely.
Well, I'll tell you this right now, and this I have no excuse. It's just there's a lot of movies I said I wanted to watch and I forgot about them. I never saw Ready Player One.
It's fun, man.
That's
basically the movie.
Surprising.
Some people call it Nerdgasm, the movie, which it really is.
I mean, I remember from the trailer seeing the Iron Giant. I was like, sold. Got me.
See, now we're getting to the point in the movie where I was just confused the first time I saw it. Maybe even the second time.
Yeah.
Here comes the Cyclops thing.
At a certain point, I picked up on what the overall plan was, but I was still like, what's going on exactly, though?
Metal detectors are going off. Why is that?
Oh yeah, and the funny thing is about that scene. Actually, they filmed that for real. That took them. Yeah, there he goes, middle claw.
Wait a minute, did that take them forever to film because they would stop breaking character and laugh out loud?
No, it wasn't that. They for some reason they actually had to do that for real, and because of the intensity of the sparks, the pyrotechnic guys that were on set, they were trying to get the kind of a controlled explosion figured out. So it took them a few tries. And when Hugh Jackman did it, you see him kind of like he's wincing away. Like it's him trying his hardest not to freak out from all the sparkles hitting him and everything. They said it took a minute to get it right.
Oh, I did not know that. That's interesting. I like that. So someone is here, but they just can't see him. Who is it? Who's in there? Why is there 2 Logans? I wonder. Oh man, that is creepy when she does that. That is so creepy.
Well, you don't like Hugh Jackman kissing you?
Here is where I got all confused in the graphic novelization, and the first time I saw it, it just didn't make sense to me.
So here's my thing. So one big question I started telling myself logically is she's able to transform into Wolverine and have the claws, but like clearly they're not adamantium, so how is she still able to cut things? Like I'm confused on how that works.
She just makes it metal-ish.
Maybe it's Shira technology, like Willow.
But that's the
likes to
thing.
point
What's
out every
weird
5
is if
minutes.
she's able to turn herself,
That is
she's
so
able to like
gross.
create like metal claws. How come she can't make the adamantium metal?
Ooh, man, she got thrown through a table. That's almost like getting a 3D through the table by Bubba and Devon. Sorry, that's a pro wrestling reference.
Listen, no offense. I don't care what anybody says. I kind of thought Toad wasn't that great of a character, to be honest with you.
Well, he doesn't
It's
really.
only
He doesn't
great-
even say much in the movie.
He doesn't talk, does he?
Yeah.
No, he
He
says
has
that
a
one
few
line.
lines.
He has like that one or two.
He just
Let her
goes,
go,
"Don't
Charles.
ever die." Like that's all he does. That's all
Yeah,
he
he's
says.
like, "Don't you people ever die?" And then he's like, "Wouldn't you supposed to bring someone back with you?"
Yeah, didn't
He
they
has,
dub
like-
over his voice in this one too?
Do they?
No,
I
it's
think they did.
his voice.
No,
Is
I think
it?
it's Ray. I think it's natural Ray. I think it's actually Ray.
I thought they dubbed him.
I mean, it should
on
be. I
this
mean,
as
Ray's
well.
a darn good
If
actor.
anything, they had him do ADR like and do it over again because maybe the recording wasn't good quality. But that's his voice. I'm pretty sure.
Ooh, look at him with that. What was that?
Oh, that's some Darth Maul stuff right there.
Yeah, he just like flipping around.
Missed
flipping
it.
around.
Oh, he's got to get the boogers off her face. That's always what I thought it was.
It's awkward.
It looked. That's what
You
it
know
looks
what
like.
really sucks? Boogers.
Yeah. Oh God.
Oh, Mystique is back as her natural self.
Nice.
Damn.
She is just taunting this guy so well.
See, and yeah, this is.
It's all about taunting your opponent. Ooh, snaps his back a little bit. But then it's like, hey, you
Ooh.
come at me and I'm going to destroy you.
He's got balls of steel.
Look at the
He can
chain, man.
He's got
Look at
balls
the
of
biker
steel.
chain on this guy. That's right.
Look at that
Put her in-
fancy landing move.
Put her in the
Ouch.
steel cage, man. Slices through that cage like it's
Let's
nothing.
I love this. I love the whole cutting straight through the middle of the cage. Like I always thought that was so cool.
Yeah, I was surprised that the cage didn't take more damage when it hit him.
Yeah.
Is she doing yoga or something when she like flips up like this?
Yeah. Crawling up a wall upside
She's-
down is yoga. You
That
got
is
it.
actually that is
Maybe
that-
it's parkour.
Oh,
Wait,
Maybe
that
it's
she's
parkour.
doing it. Sure.
Yeah.
It's probably parkour. There's an elevator. Uh-oh, someone's coming out. What's going on?
And
Storm's
here,
back.
Oh, the best character.
yeah, and
See,
then here comes the least fantastic line in this.
This
film.
has been named the top 100 or top 100 cheesiest or worst movie lines. In
Yeah,
cinematic
I
history.
agree. I was just like, even as a kid, that when I didn't know any better, I was like, I feel like you could have said something else.
Do you know what
What do you
happens
expect
when you
from
make me
Bryan
angry?
Singer?
The same thing that happens to everything else.
I remember as a kid when he did Superman Returns, he was doing an interview about it, and they said like he basically told him like, I don't really care. I'm not really a fan of comic books. I'm like, yeah, you're doing a Superman film.
Do you know what happens to a toad when struck by lightning? What happens, Willow?
Does she have an accent?
Same
right
thing
here?
that happens to everything else.
What
By
do
the
you
way-
expect from Bryan Singer?
By the way, I'm pretty sure accent was completely gone for that line as well. I did not hear any accent whatsoever.
That was all Hallie.
That was all her.
That sounded like it sounded like she was saying that forced. Logan,
Oh,
is that you?
The other one ain't far away.
I love this because it always faked me out as a kid. So I was like, wait, what? Like, it got me every time.
Good scenes, man. No, but there's a problem. You're not part of
Yep.
the group. I honestly, I
See?
thought Mystique.
Yep,
I thought
this is it.
Mystique was dead in this movie. I thought they would never bring her back.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah,
Oh,
this
she
is
was
this is
dead.
the scene specifically where I just got super wicked confused the first time.
Yeah.
It was that. It was like, what? He stabbed Storm. Oh wait, no, he stabbed himself. What is happening? And
Hey,
then the next
it's
version
Favorite
of things,
scene.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
know it's
love
you.
that. No, my favorite part, he's just like, okay, yep, that checks out. Thank you.
Okay.
You're a dick.
Okay, let's go. Move on.
You're
Next
a
level,
penis.
please.
You're a penis. You're a penis. You're a penis. Take that, Cyclops.
Take that, Scott Summers.
Take that, Steve. It's Scott. That's close enough.
Steve.
It's like
Steve.
How's it going, Steve? It's Scott. All right, let me tell you something, Steve.
It's Scott. Scott? Are you sure? That just sounds boring.
Whoa.
It's like it's Scott. Ooh, we got to change that. Yeah.
Someone's being captured.
They couldn't.
Ooh.
It's got to be that guy. Wow. My brother.
Without his helmet.
Here, that's the other
Welcome.
question. Why does he keep taking it off? Like when it's just like.
Oh,
it's
well, he's got the headset on right now. You can't fit that into the helmet.
That's true. Okay.
For sure.
Fair.
I never noticed that until this moment, so that's okay now. But before, I never noticed the headset.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have cared before either, but I've tried to wear a helmet, and it does barely fits over my fat ears.
Thank you to everybody who's been joining us in the chat tonight. We appreciate it. If you got any memories, any moments, or favorite characters you want to share with us, drop them in the comment section. We'd love to hear about it. And yeah, this movie is we're in probably the start or so of the third act, more or less. So yeah, this is getting really good, and it's been fun so far. And we hope that it's been fun for you as well.
We're in about the last 15 minutes.
Oh yeah,
the last couple of minutes. So we hope you've been enjoying this presentation tonight so far. So, the senator survived his fall.
This is awkward. I can't answer the phone call. He died. Real slow like.
Are you sure
you can tell that's just foam. That's just foam bands right there. That's holding them to the walls.
Maybe.
It's just it looks porous enough that you're like, yeah, it's fun.
They didn't have a whole lot of money that day.
Or it's CGI'd.
Power Ranger props.
God forbid they decided to CGI those things the whole time and be like, guys, you didn't.
Guys.
Well, they used all their stuff for the Matrix films around this time.
What were you saying it was, Travis?
What?
What material were you saying those were?
I'm just it's a type of foam, whether it was like Eva foam or something. See, I'm looking at it, you can see
it's especially when it's wrapped around like the body parts. That's when you really see it.
When you can see the paint that's like dry, but now when they bent it, it's crimped.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate
snapping. Thank you, Terry.
Terry must have just finished the movie.
It's Terry McGinnis.
Yeah, he started like 5 minutes ahead of everyone else.
He
like,
fast forwarded to all the good parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're on a schedule, Terry. You're not following the schedule.
He's just eyeballing him.
So is he gonna try to escape this, or is he just gonna stay? He's like, ugh.
He's just like, you know what? Screw it. I don't care.
Let me try to figure it out, brother.
Okay.
Did he actually stab himself through like the heart with that, or the chest?
This is the other part of the movie that really confused. I mean, worse than everything else.
Really?
Because I was like, okay, he stabbed himself.
Yeah.
But why? And then he falls on the ground, and I'm like, but how?
Yeah, so
and
here's
don't
the thing.
Really see it.
I was always the same way, and watching it again this time, I can tell how there was a millisecond where it was like maybe he was cutting something that let him free, but it's never clear, even when you're looking for it. So it always kind of weird.
You know who I blame? Brian Singer.
That
son of a bitch.
You're trying to say like Brian Singer, Matt Damon.
Kick in the face.
No, I'm kidding. Look at these claws.
Could you
on top
imagine
of the Statue of Liberty?
Like this is how you know this movie came out before 9/11. This would not be done again.
Probably not.
I'm actually pretty certain they filmed some of this at the Statue of Liberty, which is now a big fat nose goes.
Authenticity, yeah. I mean, I know it's CGI, but it looks pretty good to me.
Well, I'm pretty sure where they're standing, the platform is definitely real. It's just everything in the background.
They built the set.
Yeah.
They built it.
God, he's really trying to kill himself.
This is a good fight to have. Like, if you're going to have anything on the Statue of Liberty, have two big, giant mutant
CGI for sure.
I always thought it was semi-sad. I thought it was semi-satisfying. Every time I see that scene, I always just watch the point of the crown because it's like cutting cheese, just like ooh, a perfect slice.
Yeah,
every time for me.
Oh, Claus almost went through Jean Grey there for a second. Like, wait a minute. Where are you?
Imagine how different of a movie this would be if he did that and actually stabbed through her head. He's like, oh God.
Could you imagine what happened if he killed Scott instead?
Oh, he would have been like, oh no.
Maybe one little tear.
No, he's like, oh, you need a shoulder to cry on. Here, I'm here. Oh God.
No.
I'm just distraught right now.
As Sabretooth likes to say. Oh, here's a classic line. There's the magic word, fellas. The word bub. He says it on the TV series, and he says it in the movie.
I was confused.
Despite what you guys think, not all Canadians say bub. I do on occasion.
I don't know a single Canadian that says bub.
Do you say it, Willow? You say it sometimes?
I do.
No, after she saw the movie, or after she watched X-Men or read the comic, she's like, yeah, I'm going to say it. Like, this is going to be my line now.
I know more Southern people that say bub.
Oh,
bub
really?
is not a Canadian word.
No, it's not. Where did the word originate from, then?
Bubba Gump.
Oh, maybe. Could be.
I don't know about Bubba Gump.
He's like, I wish I had a friend. Bubba.
Yeah, I don't know if that was it, but definitely Bubba. Bub is for short for Bubba.
Bubba.
Okay. So maybe it did come from maybe the South, maybe Alabama.
He could run as fast as the wind blows. I knew from that down if I was going somewhere, I was running.
Someone sent me a meme today of Anakin going, I can't feel my legs. And it's Forrest Gump going, Anakin, you ain't got no legs.
I can hear it. It's like, you ain't got no legs, Anakin.
Oh, yes, you.
What if Anakin did have a Alabama accent? That would have made episode 3 and 2 a whole lot better.
If you're not with me, then you are against me.
Do you think
only
his
Sith
yells
and absolutes?
Do you think his yells would have had a different tone to him instead of the the sound?
Yeah, it would have just been
exactly. Here.
And here comes the origin of Rogue's streak through the hair
because
of the machine.
Here's another thing I've always had an issue with. Notice how when he's holding him and he's pulling him back, they emphasize how his claws will start to bend the opposite direction.
Oh, there it is.
Wait, hold on. Right there. So
there's the streak, Willow.
They bend, but yet somehow they bend back? Like, no, they'd be stuck that way. Like, I was always confused.
Well, I think it's less about bending. It was being bent by Magneto is what it looked like, because they bent and came back, so it looked like it was just kind of
in my head it was always they bent but they didn't go back, so I was just like, how are they normal again?
Here comes Rogue.
This is impressive because this is actually a very similar thing that happened in the comics and is going to happen in the Avengers game, but it's an Inhumans thing. They tried to turn everyone into Inhumans.
Yep.
So, like, I just realized connection.
Sick moment. It's like, I have a shot, and I'm taking it.
I'm taking it.
Because I'm Steve Summers.
Scott Summers.
His name, he's a Steve.
You know,
his name is Scott in the comics, so if you get it right, you're not a true nerd. So
he looks like a Steve. He looks like he could be a pirate.
He is not a Steve, okay? His name is Scott. Get it right, man.
Scuba Steve. Oh,
my name is Scuba Steve. Sam. Scuba Steve's father.
He's a real Scuba Steve. See, and then here we go. This is the final part from the graphic novelization that confused me. And this is the only one that did not confuse me when I saw the movie. I was like, oh my God, it makes sense now.
Emotional score kicks in.
This is going to come up when she starts taking the life from him. He starts like the life's getting drained from him. No, that's the thing. And the wounds start opening up. Like, where did those come from?
The wounds on his shoulder?
No, on his face.
Or on his head?
The wounds on his face that open up. There's going to be one right on his forehead. I remember.
There it is.
I think it's every recent one he's had.
I think
or
you're
all
right.
of them.
Yeah, see, look, all
honestly,
those cuts just open again. I think you might be right. Yeah.
I think it's just all of them open up. But theoretically, if all of them opened up, then holy God, he would be a skeleton.
Man,
good score. I'm hearing the echoes.
It's a good score, man. I mean, it's
good.
Hey, you know the music is good when the finale of the film is literally almost all the cast is just standing still, not doing anything, yet it still feels action-packed.
It's by the way, the score is done by Michael Kamen for the first movie. Michael
I thought you were about to say Michael Caine.
That's what I was looking up.
I
appreciate that.
It was Michael Kamen. So, but yeah,
here's
Michael
another
Kamen
thing.
Composed the score, and I gotta say, the score is so good.
I'm finding all the stuff I still have questions with. Why is it Mystique? She's clearly still alive. Instead of leaving, she just like disguises herself.
Maybe she's still hurt.
Yeah,
very much hurt.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like if she can morph, she can get up and do a little sprint, maybe a swim. You know, a little brisk swim.
We are back at the mansion. Xavier has woken up from his chemically induced coma.
The X-Men have saved the day.
And Jean Grey is trying to let him know how we did. Progress report, ladies and gentlemen. How did we do? Well,
it's like he did.
Cuts and bruises, but he's going to be fine. Why? Because he heals faster than anything alive.
He's healing pretty slow there.
I know. In no other movie
yeah.
does he ever heal that slow, even when he comes in contact with Rogue.
His wounds are all gone. All that blood, and then on his actual person, there's nothing on him. Oh, that tickles.
Let's talk about the fact that he's still got chest hair in this movie.
Yeah. He was unleashing the beast in this
one
film.
Of the two reasons.
Wolverine has to be a hairy guy, though.
That's
Come on.
what I'm saying. Like,
I get it.
You know, it's good to the comics, but also it's to hide some of his lack of definition, because that is definitely a different physique than those earlier scenes. Yeah.
Wolverine
so they filmed this earlier.
That the more toned you get, the more hair loss is achieved. Okay.
See, and that is total BS. When I'm Wolverine, I'm gonna be super yoked and I'm gonna be super duper hairy because that's what Wolverine is.
You like walk around, it's like, whoa, that's a lot of chest hair, buddy. Big. Oh, really? You should check this out. And you put a carpet on your back. And they're like,
thank God I don't have back hair. Honestly, I just on the front.
Come on, man. There are kids here. I'm like, I know. That's why I'm dressed up like this.
And Charles Xavier is back, and he's got a new suit.
Yo, I love these. Their 3D hologram things.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool.
It's very. I mean, now it just seems old school because.
Not necessarily, because remember they did something kind of like it, and what was it? The Wolverine? Is that all it was called? When he goes to Japan or Tokyo?
Yeah, that's the second one. Yeah, the Wolverine's the second one. Yeah,
they had a lot of that technology going on there too, so it's still reused.
Well, I just meant because of Marvel's cinematic night, we now have genuine holograms. So it's like, that seems outdated, especially because they have toys like that. Like they designed it like that because of the toys, where you can morph things, and it's like, you can make any shape you want. We can make this into holograms.
Mystique, son of a blank. And they had TiVo back then. You could pause live television in 2000. I didn't know you could do that 20 years ago.
Ryan, I'll tell you this right now. I don't know why you don't have it yet already. You already have an Indiana Jones jacket. You might as well get a Wolverine jacket as well. It's another perfect leather jacket.
I would be honored to wear that jacket in public. I would be honored to wear that.
No one has the guts
I'll wear
to tell
3
Rogue.
shirts, a pair of jeans, a pair of denim, and a jacket like that.
I believe you.
Wear it.
But no one had the guts to tell Rogue when she had that close-up. She just had a strand of hair in her mouth. I'm like, sweetie, can you just pull that down?
I kind of like it, as she says.
Oh, look, her accent's back now.
I don't want you to go. I don't want you to go, Logan.
She'll never let go, Jack.
I'll never let
go.
But hey, gives her his dog tags. I'll be back for this.
I don't need these anymore.
Well, he's gonna need them when he gets back.
He gives her the tag, closes his hands like, just like these tags. You're in the past. And then he just walks off. I'm like, ooh, ice cold. I thought Bobby was the Iceman. Okay.
It's like Terminator. I'll be back. Take my dog tags.
I'll be back, bub.
Yeah, I'm gonna take that
The
motorcycle up
indecisive
north.
here. That's a skit idea. The indecisive Terminator. He's like, I may be back around this way at some point.
There's the
I don't know.
sign. Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters. Yay! Love the sign.
Oh, I love every
By the way,
time that he's in
I
prison.
want a chess set like this.
It's very easy to get.
Yeah.
Is it?
I don't know.
Yep.
Yes, you just
Those are
search
plastic pieces.
plastic chess set. You can find them.
Can I find that on Amazon for like $5?
No. You can get a Lego chess set for $300.
Oh, yikes.
You know what, Ryan? I have 2 chess sets literally right in front of me, and I will sell you one.
$4 billion.
That's exactly how much I want for it. No
yeah,
less.
exactly.
Not a penny more. Not a penny less.
This is a really good speech at the end of this movie. Really good speech by Magneto, or good exchange between Magneto and Xavier. It doesn't ever wake you in the middle of the night. Someday they will pass that foolish law.
Why do you come here, Charles?
Come here for your children. Feel a great swell of pity. Poor soul comes to that school looking for trouble. Why do you come here, Charles? So many good lines by these two.
They had such a good dynamic. Their relationship
incredible.
really made the film.
They were born to be these characters. They were born to do it. I intend to fight it. A little bit of a standoff there. It's like, yeah, you're coming at me. Guess what? You mess up, I'm gonna come right back at you.
At the real Canadian standoff, eh?
Beats him in chess at the end of the movie. Good score, man. Good score.
A little bit of an homage to the 92.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I would believe so. Yeah, you can hear
Listen
it.
to it. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun,
Oh,
dun,
yeah,
dun.
you're right. Yeah, there's a bit
Chills.
Of, yeah, you're right.
Literal
I can hear a few
chills.
nods. Wow.
Number
even the
5.
end-
Number 5 is the one who killed my brother. Oh my god, I forgot about that.
Even the end credits, like the score they used for that is very good. Very mysterious stuff. Wow. So we are at the end credits, ladies and gentlemen. That is the end of X-Men of 2000. Boy, oh, my goodness.
20 years.
20 years young. I
Is
want to take
it
this
really
opportunity-
20 years? Or
Yes.
Jesus.
This movie
Yes.
Executive
It's been 20 years.
producer Richard Donner.
Yep, the Richard Donner. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. A lot of impressive names worked on this movie. A lot of people worked behind the scenes. A lot of good casting choices, I think, were made for this movie, especially Hugh Jackman. Let's not forget.
Okay.
But yeah, no, folks, that was X-Men 2000, 20 years young, and I want to take this opportunity. I know a lot of people's reputations, certain people's reputations for this movie have changed a lot over the years, but I do want to say thank you to every single person who worked on this movie, because without you, this movie would not be what it is today. So thank you to the cast, thank you to the crew. Everybody did a fantastic job on this film. I think this film, 20 years later, still holds up. I think it's very entertaining. I think it's very relevant. I think the acting performances are incredible. I think the score is really good. The dynamic between certain characters, especially Xavier Magneto, is really, really solid. So my hat's off to everybody. So my question to the panel.
Wait, Ryan, I can't hear you. Hold on, I can't hear you. Wait, say that again?
Mute yourself for a second there, Willow. Sorry about that.
What'd you say? I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
No, it's all right. What I was saying was, sorry about that, folks. What I was saying was, to everybody who worked on this film, thank you. We appreciate it. But my question to the panel, going to Thomas first. Thomas, 20 years later, you watch this film now. What are your thoughts on X-Men of 2000?
Interesting accent choices along the way. But holds up. It's still I don't remember if I like this one or X2 more. It's been a long
X2.
time.
It's X2.
Hey, listen, you don't know my preferences, right, Ryan?
Yeah, if you watched last night's episode of Lights, Thunder, Action, you would understand that his taste is vastly different from the common man. But that's what's great about films. People have different tastes and different likes and dislikes in different movies. So that's the great thing about it.
It's X2 though. Just saying.
No, well, not for him it isn't. But anyway, Thomas, continue.
We don't know, but it holds up. I love it. It's funny looking at some of these things and going, "Oh, how was I confused as a child? That's so simple. Literally made for children. You couldn't pick that up, Thomas. Come on."
No. That's awesome, man. I appreciate the thoughts. Going over to Travis. Travis, 20 years later, X-Men 2000. What do you think about this movie overall?
I still have the same questions, and I spit them all out throughout this entire thing. It's just like every visual thing that popped up, I'd just be like, see, why is that there? Why? But now I've just learned, over the years, I always learned to just accept it, because all in all, it's still a good movie. It still holds up, and I'm always going to have a special place in my heart for these films, because they gave me Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and I can always thank them for that. And they just, I don't know, they just killed it. Like, it's just, I've met people that just don't like this movie, and I guess I could get it, but I thought it was good. I think they had these movies right before they started going so wrong later on. So I like it. Yeah.
Some years later, and I see. Are you trying to bring up certain credits here? Who are these gentlemen? Oh, Kevin Feige, yes,
right there,
yes.
associate producer. There,
he's
from
always
the start.
been there.
He has been a part of these comic book movies almost since the very beginning. So our hats off to Kevin Feige, because now he controls a $1 empire. So good.
That's
on
a
you,
real
Kevin.
number, yeah.
Yeah, it is a real number because I said so. But anyway, we can't forget our great friend to the north, because there were certain characters in this movie who came from Canada. Willow, 20 years later, X-Men 2000. What are your thoughts?
I still enjoy this movie in particular. The other movies, but because I'm such a huge fan of X-Men, I can't wait till they reboot it. I'm sorry, guys.
It's going to be a while.
I get it.
Not that long.
It's going to be about 5 or 10 years. So.
Tom Hardy could play an awesome Wolverine, just saying.
No.
I feel
He's too old. He's too old. He's 100 years old. He can't do it. But, no, that's awesome. Anything else you want to add, Willow?
Still, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, just phenomenal. He does an amazing job. He continues to do an amazing job. Let's hope that he sticks by it. But I don't know. Just, I don't know if I don't. Anna Paquin, not my first choice as Rogue. I don't know. Her voice is kind of annoying.
Well, if you were a casting director in Hollywood, who would you have cast for a young Rogue back in the year 2000? Do you have any names in mind?
Oh my God, who did I? Okay, now I don't know. I honestly don't know who I would have chosen, because then it would have probably been like Sarah Michelle Gellar or something, like something stupid like that. But
SMG.
But I remember being like 14, 15, and trying to cast my own, trying to think of who I'd choose. And for some reason, Bruce Willis as Wolverine came to my mind. And
wow. John McClane?
I was on a Die Hard kick.
Hold on. I can only imagine him as Wolverine. He's going like, he's just going, come on, let's go have some metal, put it on our bones, have a few laughs,
But then I also had Jean-Claude Van Damme as Gambit, so
that's a good pull.
That would have been interesting for action scenes, but I don't think you can pull off the how's it going Paul Frere,
I mean, he's a Belgian playing an American in Street Fighter, for Pete's sake.
Yeah.
Have you guys not watched Hard Target?
Not yet. Not yet.
No.
Not yet.
Oh my God.
Yet.
I am an old fart.
No. It's okay. It's all right. But anyway, if you want to keep thinking on who you would potentially cast as a young Rogue back in the year 2000, feel free to take another 2 minutes here, because I got to say,
between the two of you is a serious deviation from the plan.
I don't know who I personally would have casted for some of these roles. The only one that came to mind immediately was Stewart as Professor Xavier. Like, that to me was a no-brainer. Like, if you're going to cast anybody, even though I'm not a Trekkie, because I grew up on the wars.
Cast somebody who's already bald. Yeah, exactly. I guess.
Get someone who's been in the business a long time. Bring in Patrick Stewart, because I can almost guarantee you he'll put butts in the seats, and he did. And then you get Ian McKellen, you get all these other actors coming in. It's like, wow, I'm not too. Famke Janssen I knew from GoldenEye. But other than that, I was like, who are these people? I'm not sure who they are. But then they came in and just wham! It's so, at least for me anyway, they did really well in this movie. So for me, First X-Men is still one of my all-time favorite comic book movies. I think it's going to continue to stay that way because personally, a lot of scenes in this movie hit home for me. I think it's relevant to a lot of different situations that may be going on currently in the world right now. Like, I relate it to those in the autism spectrum and those who may have been mistreated because they're on the spectrum. Maybe they haven't gotten the services or certain opportunities that other individuals get. So that's where my mind is at. But I know it's different for everybody, and it's open to interpretation for all of you. So I completely get it. But overall, this movie hits home for me. It's going to stick in my heart for a long time, you know. And yeah, this is one of my most rewatchable comic book movies. For me personally, I would probably, if I had to make a top 15, top 20 comic book movie list, this would definitely, for me, this would probably be in my top 10. Honestly, I think this is so good, and a lot of issues that they address in the movie are relevant, so relevant. But anyway, I do want to say,
I would agree.
I do want to say thank you to all of you who joined us in the chat tonight. I want to thank all of you for pitching in your comments, your thoughts, and opinions about whether it's a character or a moment or maybe a little Easter egg that we may or may not have missed. I do appreciate you for that because, hey, sometimes I miss things. I'm a very smart guy, okay? But I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed sometimes. So cut me some slack, Jack. That's all I got to say about that. But
you're just going everywhere. Like you're just hitting all marks right now. You're hitting every tone.
I've been a professional since I was 12, okay? Maybe 10. And I want to continue my winning streak. So just let me go with it. But anyway, that is going to do it for this watch-along of X-Men. And let me just let the audience know that we do have some plans in the works. We are in the process of putting together some future watch-alongs. We're also in the process of putting together some future shows talking about certain films. Maybe not so much a watch-along, but just a lively discussion about certain films, maybe a certain franchise. But I want to go around the table and make sure that all our panelists get to plug whatever they want to plug because the power just keeps going and going and going. It just keeps going, folks. So let's go with Thomas. Thomas, is there anything you want to plug and let the audience in on that you are currently working on?
Oh, God. I'm working on everything right now.
The question is, what are you not doing?
I'm not sleeping. Every week, every weekend, Lights Thunder Action comes here to you live on Facebook and the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. We just finished our first trilogy of trilogies. It was Back to the Future. We start Batman Begins this upcoming weekend, and it's going to be
nerves.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. We're probably gonna get into some hot debates like we did last night. Every weekend, you can find us on Facebook at Lights Thunder Action Podcast. Yes, on Twitter it's LTA Podcasting. That's my plug. My one plug.
I thought you were going to plug a couple other things because I know you're working on a plethora of different projects. But I know you're probably tired. I think plugging is the last thing on your mind. So
plugging one thing feels good. You know, I have a lot of watch-alongs coming up. You can find me on Facebook at Thomas Carter Rochester -actor, and there you'll find all the other stuff I work on.
I think I can speak on everybody who's in the chat and everybody in the panel that we're looking forward to your trilogy of trilogy episodes with the Dark Knight trilogy coming up. That is going to be hot and spicy.
That's going to be interesting. I'm going to have to make sure I tune in for that one because I'm probably going to have some things I need to say.
Yeah, I don't know if the audience at home knows this about our Nerd Culture Zone Travis, but he's kind of a big Batman fan. So
yeah, you could say that.
Just want to point that out. He's got a tattoo on his arm there. Yeah, brother. Yeah.
That's cool.
Kinda.
He's a diehard Batman fan.
Just woke up with it. I think it's a birthmark. I think I was born to be Batman. I'm just saying, have you ever seen me and him in the same room? Yeah, it's crazy. I know.
Yeah. Well, speaking of being a fan of Batman, all that good stuff. But before I get to Travis, let's go to our friend of the Great White North because she has been awesome-tacular.
I'm okay.
Throughout this whole program. She has been awesome with her drip of fun facts.
Yes.
Her drip of geek knowledge, and I respect
I try.
heck out of it. I'm telling you know more things than I could ever learn in a school. So let me just put it that way.
I am glad that someone appreciates my, too much information and not enough time spent on better things.
Yeah, no.
Have information on. Don't lie to yourself.
No, it's all good, and we do appreciate you being here with us, Willow. Where can the good people of the internet find you?
All over the internet. I am on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I'm on Twitter. If you guys do watch my YouTube page, yes, I have a lot of stupid videos. I try to update it as much as possible, but it's busy. But yeah, you may also find me at Starbucks.
So I think the question on everyone's mind is there a Twitter and Instagram handle that people can find you at, or your YouTube channel? Where should they look?
Willow Schuyler at all of those things.
Simple and to the point and elegant. I love it. Thank you so much, Willow. We appreciate that. I'm going to go over to our other panelists somewhere over here, down there, wherever. The streams have been crossed, people. I'm sorry. But Travis, our good friend, our fellow colleague of nerd culture, Travis, where can the good people in the interwebs find you, good sir?
As usual, you guys can find me as just another one of the participants over at itsnerdculture.com. And Ryan has told you multiple times before, we have everything. We got Facebook, we got Twitter, we got Instagram, we got YouTube. And also, if you missed most of this stream, make sure you're probably watching it now on YouTube, because we will be putting a video up over there as well. You can specifically check out my playlist, which is going to be Nerdy Gamer, and we recently just had a Last of Us Part 2 playthrough finish up, and it's going to be the rest of it's going to be put out this week. So if you feel like watching the game, very cinematic, very awesome, make sure to check that out. You can follow me on Instagram, which is what I'm usually on, but the name is too long that I'm not even going to bother telling you what it is. So just look me up on Facebook, Travis Troller. So hey, say hi. And also check me out over on Lasting Light Media. It's another little indie production company me and my friends are starting up. We like to do short films, and we're working on a Star Wars fan film right now, which Ryan has been hearing about. He's super excited for.
Oh, I can't wait.
So hopefully we're here to impress. So we'll keep you posted on that one, along with also doing our Forms of Lasting Insight, which is our debate podcast show. So make sure to tune in and join the conversation as well. But yeah, that's all I got going on right now, guys.
No, hey, you got a lot of projects upcoming. So
try to keep myself busy.
Congratulations to all our panelists on their upcoming projects. We wish you the best of luck with those. Hope they turn out excellently, which I'm sure they will, and we are excited to see them all come to fruition.
How come none of us did X puns that whole time?
I'm using the X, son. I'm using the X, okay? Because we are excited because we just had a great show, and I want to wrap it up nicely. So here's what I'm going to do for you. You can find me on the interwebs at RyanRPM5. That's on Twitter and Instagram. Check out our podcast. It's called The Nerdcast. I talk about movies past and whatever there is of the present, because COVID-19 is, closed the earth down for the next 3 to 5 years. Thanks,
This is true.
So check out the podcast there. It's on Anchor, Google, Spotify, wherever you download your podcast, you can find it there. Check out our YouTube channel, as Travis pointed out earlier, at It's Nerd Culture. We got a whole bunch of content up right now. We got some new things coming away very, very soon. And also, like I've said, we got a lot of really good stuff. We got some good projects that are in the works. Some of them are going to be watch-alongs. Some of them are going to be debates. But at the end of the day, they're going to be electrifying and they're going to be entertaining, because that is why we are here today. Despite the dark times that we are living in, we hope that we have entertained you. We thank you for spending part of your night with us. We really appreciate it. And remember, stay healthy, stay safe, stay strong. We are going to make it through this as long as we stick together. Support your local businesses, support your local content creators, because they are doing this for you. It's of the fans, by the fans, for the fans. So just keep that in mind as we go along. That is going to do it for us. Thank you so much for joining us. In the meantime, watch movies.
And happy 20th to X-Men. Wah-ya.
X people.